pretty well against with an Oracle in his team.
Okay.
But for Team Aggressive 5, they have picked Phantom Lancer, which is, according to me, it's really good against the Viper because it can just rush into Viper's face with the support of, like, with the help of Leech and Frost Armor and everything. So yeah, it's good.
You think the Aggressive 5 lineup right now has enough damage to deal with the Viper?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think they should pick in the mid lane?
I think PL this game is a mid lane.
You think it's a mid PL?
Yeah, I think it's a mid PL, and they would go for a standard Negi carry, like Negi comfort hero, like maybe Klings this game because it is good.
Versus the Viper?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be pretty interesting, and the fact that we've been watching the games, and Aggressive 5 for them, both the games have been pretty comfortable, even though the second game was a bit of a slowish start. Again, Buriza has looked a bit shaky as well. So how do you think the early game is going to pan out? Because we were expecting, in the last game as well, we were expecting the early game to be very, very fast. Aggressive 5 should have had like 5 or 7 kills in about 8 minutes, but till 7 minutes there were no kills being exchanged. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think this game, Aggressive 5's rotation will be again on Pinkman, which is who is playing the Clockwork this game. So Clockwork is also great, and it is really annoying if he goes into the middle and just cogs the Viper out because it burns his mana, it annoys him, and he cannot take the last hits for himself.
Okay. So you think a lot of that early game kills is going to come from Pinkman. I have a question for you. This Viper is probably going to the mid lane.
Yeah, definitely.
You read this as a mid PL versus the Viper.
Okay.
You were wrong.
Yeah, they have decided to go for a QOP.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. They've decided to go for the Queen of Pain.
This is also a good matchup for Team Aggressive 5 because QOP pans out pretty decent against the Viper. But I'm pretty sure Pinkman is definitely going to help paddling on this lane. Because if QOP has the advantage against the Viper, then I think QOP can own the Viper. Totally.
Well, this is going to be pretty interesting, and I think they are going to go into the reserve time again because they are taking a lot more time. They're taking the sweet time to go in for the last pick. Do you think it's going to be a pocket strat?
I'm not sure because Aggressive 5 have also banned the Husker, which is really good with an Oracle. So it's a Luna.
I mean, I like it. You got the Glaives which sort of deal with the Phantom Lancer to some extent.
Yeah.
That high armor is good, particularly good versus what's a lot of right-click damage coming out from Aggressive 5.
I think in this game, when we go into the mid game, if Luna is on the top of the network charts, I think this is a good game for Team Buriza because it can clear out the illusions as well.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna hold on to those, the hordes because I'm pretty sure you have to go and hop onto the casting desk as well. In the meantime, I really need to go and get my mind to rest because this is like the 8th game or the 9th game that is being broadcasted, and it's just too much data to try and figure out because Aggressive 5, they've been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you guys take a breather as well. We are going to go on a really, really short commercial break, and when we come back, we'll be back with live action.
Waited a tad bit too long though. Edgo got the repel, got a purification, the blood right comes in as well, and it looks like Aggressive could be the one going down here. Salve's up on the backlines, his Salve runs out, he gets brought down by Negi as Kuroko Tetsuya goes down next. Negi with the double, has the rupture if he wants to go for the triple, commits it indeed, pops his face boots and runs wide at deep threat. 1 punch, 2 punch, make it a triple Negi, but Negi, he's gone in deep. Meanwhile the Echo Slam was there behind, all the way down in the delusion. Back into the fray here, you've got the stun coming out, they've got the kill on Kuroko Tetsuya, but the Guardian Angel keeps him alive, the Diffuser Blade purges up Negi, but remember he still has the Aegis, as Aggressive will be the first one to go down. It's a double kill for Negi, who's still giving chase. The stun stops the Darkseer in his tracks, and Darkseer burns down to the Radiance, while Negi, once an Ultra, chooses not to go into the fountain, instead comes back. slow and painful takedown. The hook is gonna miss. The Aegis is snatched by Negi. He does have the Eclipse. He has the Aegis to work with. He's gonna wait for life number 1 to go down. The lone druid gets swapped out of safety. Doesn't quite die just yet. The hook with Dismember on the backside, keeping the Queen of Pain at bay. Who flips back out. Negi with the Eclipse. The Echo Slam from Gorenko. They've got the kills. They've got the double kill coming out. They've got the fish in a hold in Arrow. And Arrow goes down next. Oh man, KKL comes into the frame, but the barracks are dropping. The hook is there. It'll pull back Flair further behind. It's mega creeps in favor of KKL. And this time it looks like it could really be over, but I've said that too soon. Again, it's 4 down on the side of KKL with Draw Ranger being controlled. The shrines are popped again. It's a 5-man wipe. Gotten a fair bit of damage done. Even Pudge just walks forward and TFOs are dropping like flies here. No BKB, well, they have a BKB on Negi, but what can they really do here? There's the GG coming out. Frets, fires the hook, finds nobody. There's the jump in though, they've got the 7 wards dropped down, the global silence is there, so no Guardian Angel comes through the back, the wall is there and it's beautiful. They're brought down to, there's the buyback from the Pudge, but the Guardian Angel has been dropped and they've gone in behind onto the Lina. She pops the cheese and continues to fight. The Corrosive Aegis has been dropped, meanwhile on the front line, the Aegis has been expended. Deep Pets, they're just circling around that Ursa who's gonna respawn, gets Hex, but the crush comes out onto 3. There's the Zip, Negi's in trouble, he turns around and tries to fight, but Arrow with a double kill. Side slowly and surely they're gonna chip away on this. A hook from downtown finds the leader, but they do enter the frame with the shrines pop to back the wall as well. They've brought down Perseverance. They're going for the next one. Deep Breath stays alive with the Guardian Angel pop. Lina taking a beating, getting zipped upon, getting jumped upon, gets surged on out, but ends up surviving with the Glimmer Cape as well. Oh man, that was a defense from the depths of hell coming out.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Vivek has time traveled back from the analyst desk to the casting desk. It's going to be Team Buriza versus the one and only Aggressive 5. Two of the top dogs in the tournament, two teams that are most likely to make it to the finale as well. Could this be a precursor to what's happening at the main event?
It could. The problem though is I haven't seen Buriza in action. I mean, I saw Buriza in spurts of action where they disconnected multiple times, so I really can't judge them as a team. However, having said that, they picked Husker, they really couldn't execute Husker.
Yeah.
Not effectively.
I mean, that game had a lot of ifs and buts and a lot more variables than we kind of hoped for. But, you know, this is going to be the true test. Buriza, we know that they're a skilled bunch. We talked about how Pulse and Clown K are, I mean, they've got really high amounts
Look
of
at
He is always laughing.
He's adorable.
I mean, he takes the game in its truest spirit, man.
Absolutely. He has fun.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's what the game is meant to do.
You know, difference? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little confusing for me as well because we kind of spoke to Aggressive 5 earlier on over a cup of tea, and they essentially told us that that's their game plan in this tournament. Every time they get Viper, they're gonna pick it up without hesitation. This time they let it slip right through till the second last phase of picks, and Team Buriza said, "All right, if you're not gonna take it, we'll take it." They got a really late pick Viper, given how high that hero is on the priority list here.
That Viper has to be a problem. I mean, that's when Viper really excels in a team. When it requires 2 or 3 heroes to kill him, and then you end up losing one in the process. When your lane looks like shit, that's when Viper pays off. If Viper's just casually having a very normal laning phase, that hero's no good. He has to be a nuisance. He has to.
Yeah, I agree. And
that corrosive skin has to really make your skin boil. Basically, that's his job.
I like the Viper in this lineup as well because it's their tanky frontliner. It's something that'll be able to soak up a lot of damage coming out from Aggressive 5. The Luna's going to be able to stand on the backlines. With the Glaive, she's going to be able to bounce around and dish out damage. Sieging high ground is going to be awesome for Buriza if they get to that point. think about it. You've got the Batrider for the initiation, you've got the Luna for the siege, you've got the Viper for the strong frontline tank, and for counter initiation, you've got two of the best heroes, the Oracle as well as the Tusk. The Tusk pickup, while you know we've largely talked about how it's a situational pick, in this particular case it makes sense. It's that extra layer of defense that's provided to your Viper and to your Luna. Heroes that are already prone to become tanky given their item builds and some of their skill builds as well.
And provided the Tusk is outside the cogs, can pretty much, provided there are creeps and heroes in the vicinity, rescue someone from the cogs if need be. This game though, in the mid game, it's going to be the battle of the offlaners. It's going to be between the Legion Commander and the Batrider. Who gets the better initiation?
I agree.
Both have vision to work with. You've got the sticky napalm, you've got Pinkman chipping in with the rockets. It's going to be a game of initiation, in my opinion, come mid game.
I absolutely agree with you. I think it is going to be a show of the middle laners.
Of the offlaners.
Of the offlaners, sorry, in the mid game stage.
Yeah.
And really, it's going to boil down to whether or not which one of them gets their blink dagger first and which one of them actually pulls off their blink initiations better. Alright, 8:35, moving up towards the top lane here on this Legion Commander. You've got Lich in the hands of Pasol. It's going to be Phantom Lancer going to be played by Paddling, so we're looking at a mid Phantom Lancer here. With Clockwork in the hands of Pinkman, his smoke's already worn off for now. Corpse can be played by Negi, and that means we're going to have 8:35 on the Legion, like we pointed out earlier. But look at this, man. Negi on the Queen of Pain. It's a safe lane Queen of Pain and a mid Phantom Lancer. Swifty kind of called it early on, and then you guys backtracked, but they're actually running a mid Phantom Lancer and a safe lane Queen of Pain.
Okay. I mean, my next question to Swifty was, how do you lane as a mid PL versus the Viper? What's the play? What's the plan? I mean, I have no clue how this lane matchup works. I've never seen it. I've seen PL versus Invoker. It's something that MVP Phoenix did a whole lot, but look at this early game aggression coming up from Buriza. They're just grouping up, moving into the Radiant jungle.
So they're guaranteed 3 runes right now. 8:35 is going to look for one of those because he knows that there's a disadvantage in terms of numbers that they're going to have. And alright, it's going to be 3 bounties picked up by the Dire. So Buriza are off to the sort of better start, but 8:35 has asserted his dominance versus Smoke already. Both the Lancer and the Legion Commander are great versus the Batrider. They can both dispel the sticky napalm stacks rather easily, and I mean 8:35 for this LC can actually dispel the lasso as well.
Absolutely.
On the other side, the introductions as due. You've got Helm going to be handling that Oracle. It's going to be Viper in the hands of Focus. Pulse is going to be playing the roaming Tusk Luna in the capable hands of Ramses, and playing that Batrider.
For the side of aggressive 5, this time on the Radiant. We've got Pasol on the Lich, Paddling on the Phantom Lance in the mid lane, Pikmin going to be handling the Clockwork, Negi on the safe lane Queen of Pain, and 8:35 in the off lane Legion.
Alrighty then, Negi. He's opted to start off with the PMS in this lane, so he's going to be able to deal with some of this damage that the Viper's dishing out at him. And at this point, Negi can do some counter-attack, do some return damage as well on the Viper, but with Pulse in the vicinity, he's got to be really careful. I'm not entirely sure how this lane is going to play out. I would say that I would always think that Viper has the upper hand, but if Negi can afford to get himself a good bottle online, he should be able to keep the Viper's HP low enough to deter him from making very aggressive plays.
Well, I mean, I don't see this matchup working in the favor of the PL bottom lane though. Fortune's then being channeled onto Pinkman. He's caught in place. The battery assault will not be slowing down Ramses, who pops the fairy fire but loses a whole lot of HP and goes down to Pasol there.
Yeah,
First blood going
that
in
seemed
the
like a
pockets of
misplay coming out
aggressive
from him. He chose to use the Purifying Flames offensively instead of defensively. So instead of purging off the Shadow Strike buff, he ended up tagging Pinkman with it. Pinkman chose to swerve to the right with his boots, so it didn't dispel the debuff off of Ramses as well. That slow was enough for the Lich to get in position, and that was a confirmed kill. Anyway, up top, 8:35 is having a fairly hard time here in the face of Pulse and that Batrider. He does have a magic stick online, so the stick charges are starting to add up. Not to mention the fact that he has a mango for that emergency plus the attack if push comes to shove. Meanwhile at mid, Negi, look at that, he's picked up an illusion rune already, so
it's paddling with Negi as part of his name.
yeah, oh, that's paddling, my bad, okay. Negi Cylinder.
Safe lane, playing Queen of Pain. So this is something new coming out from Aggressive 5, running a safe lane walk, which I haven't seen in a while. which is, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I feel about the safe lane co-op. But I certainly have mixed feelings about this mid Phantom Lancer because so far it seems that Viper is getting off to the better start, at least in terms of CS.
I can't make head or tail out of this drop either. You know, if you're running a safe lane Queen of Pain, I'd expect that they'd send the supports away from this lane. But the fact that Buriza has read what the top...
Hold on, Pinkman with the cogs. He's got both with their helm as well as Ramses. This was supposed to be an offensive dual lane. And they're being punished here for their greed. Helm drops the Fate's Edict on himself. No Midas this time on the Oracle anytime
That was
soon.
beautiful from Pinkman, man. 2 hero cogs this early on in the game can be absolutely devastating, especially in a 3 versus 2 setup.
Why a 3 versus 2? Why are they running?
I guess they figured it would be a safe lane co-op left alone while the supports go roaming around, but when you give the supports incentive to stay bottom, that's exactly what they're going to do. Buriza seems to have misread this laning stage and sort of thought, well, I guess Aggressive 5 is just thinking 1 or 2 steps ahead of Buriza right now. I mean, to put it in perspective, Buriza says, alright, they're going to run a safe lane Queen of Pain, we can deal with that by throwing 2 heroes at it. Aggressive 5 actually says that, alright, we know they're going to throw 2 heroes, let's just throw 3 right back at them.
Okay.
So it's sort of like a really long, they're playing the long game here, Aggressive 5.
So, do you think Buriza sent the Luna and the Oracle to the off lane, assuming that it'd be just the Queen of Pain by herself?
That's what I think happened.
Ah, they expected an aggressive try with the Legion, the Lich, and the Clockwork.
Which wouldn't be terrible, to be honest.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, Aggressive are switching things up, but they're doing this switch after securing 2 kills on the Luna.
Alright, so here's where Negi starts to cause problems with Viper. Viper may not be as susceptible to the magic damage coming up from the Spirit Lance, but the bonus agility that comes from the Phantom Lance works well versus him. But top, 835 could be about to meet his maker, but he's gonna purge off the immediately. He can't do much about the ice shots blocking him, and instead he turns around and tries to fight, but the snowball is there, and Pulse will get the kill.
He accepted his death like a man. Just turned around, manned up with the press the attack, and tried to, I don't know, trade it with the Luna.
Mid focused. Alright, Paddling is just going at it here, but he may have overstepped his bounds there. He's gonna need to use that doppelganger seed enough, and yeah, that's gonna take him up onto the high ground and up and away indeed.
It's calculated. He has the shrine. It's the 5-minute mark. And Paddling is just gonna reset the mid lane with that shrine. He's not too bad actually. The Viper sitting at 26 last hits and 11 denies, while Paddling is at 22-9. He's not doing too bad.
This top lane is where we're going to see his action take place once again. With the Lich hanging around here, he's up to level 4 and he's kind of starving out both the Oracle and the Luna here. And Pulse is coming into the fray as well. In fact, they're going to go in on 835. He has the Prestige attack and can pop it in time. But the ice shots again blocking him out. But here comes the backup. In fact, 835 says, I'll come at you if you're not going to come at me. And with Negi rotating in as well, they're going to look for a secondary pick-off on Pulse. He does have the snowball, which he'll use to buy some time. So that time is only going to be wasted because he's still going to end up going down. It's a double kill for 835. He couldn't ask for more in this lane.
Yeah, stellar stuff coming up from Aggressive 5. Once again, for the second game in a row, Negi makes an early game rotation that has impact as a core, which very few safe laners do in the Indian scene. I've seen Blizzard do it every now and then, but doing it well consistently is not easy. And Negi did it last game with the Klings. And he's done it again with the Queen of Pain.
So the Clinks was a little more, I could sympathize with that move a bit more because, you know, he's going to go pop the Dark Pact at level 6, he's got that power spike and he hits harder than anyone else on the map. Might as well go and try and abuse it. With the Quap, it's just, you know, spur of the moment decision making and it's worked out well for him so far. It's very reminiscent of the way Hobos used to play back in his heyday. And I gotta say, I'm impressed by Negi.
I was gonna say no days. No days still makes these rotations. But yeah, this is a Quap who's not even 6.
But
it's rare to see Quaps move before level 6.
This was, well, it was actually a preemptive lane swap altogether. They've sent 835 bottom now, so it just so happened that the Quap got a gank along with her lane rotation. Maybe we were reading into the situation a bit much.
Yeah. They are playing musical chairs, but every time they change chairs, they get a kill. This time around, though, Negi playing it really close. Meanwhile, mid lane, they've got focused in the cogs. The Frost Blast is there. He's surrounded. The Fate's Edict doesn't do anything. And Pinkman scores the kill purely with the right click.
Here's the beautiful thing about Aggressive 5, man. after the first few minutes, their laning stage, their concept of laning stage is just really fine. Look at this, man. Ramses, what? Come on. Negi can't be doing this to you by himself. Pulse is here to protect him against these very plays, but Pulse can't do too much in the face of Negi, who's one charged up, switched over to Stent Treads, and is now hoping that he gets his cooldown off quickly. In fact, he was thinking of going for the bounty rune, but discipline kicked in at the last minute as he backed away.
Yeah,
but
mid lane focused with the Viper Strike. Wants to bring down Fasola and he's Pinkton with the cogs pushing back Hell. They're focusing down the Lich and they will indeed get him, but Focus, he's going to pay the price in return. Fasol scores a kill with the Chain Frost, and Helm is just watching from the sidelines.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I think he got way too greedy going in on that Lich like that. I mean, you just give
Viper
up
for a
Lich
Lich.
at a point. Not at all a fair trade.
That's not a trade.
It really isn't. Anyway, yeah, the point I was trying to make is that after a point, their aggressive 5's lanes just dissipate. You know, everyone just starts moving around the map in this very fluid manner, and it really doesn't feel like a plan that's coming out from aggressive 5. It's just this unspoken coordination that comes out that, you know, this seems like a good time to gank mid because of vision and because of the way the creep waves are positioned. It's sort of Dota that comes right from instinct as opposed to calculated plays. And this is truly the mark of a team that has stuck together for a long time and has bonded.
Bottom lane, they're bonding a little more with the duel of the smoke. Pinkman moves in with the battery assault, more than enough damage to bring down the Batrider, who did have a set of infused raindrops, but that doesn't do too much to keep him alive. It's a killing spree on A35, the offlane tower down to half HP.
But it wasn't a duel kill.
It wasn't a duel kill. So no dual damage just yet. And yeah, you mentioned our aggressive 5 have this beautiful fluid laning phase. It's almost like, ouch! Was that Ramses in the mid lane?
That was a casual level 4 spirit lance.
Yeah, that was the second one he threw. So yeah.
Negi doesn't have, paddling. Negi cylinder doesn't have any more mana to work with. So I'm gonna have to wait till that ring of Aquila starts to pay for itself. I think we could see a duel being that hurts again. Press the attack along with the overwhelming odds. A35 is just holding on by himself. And with the phase boots, he's got the mobility advantage too. Up top, looks like Negi's going in. They're trying to bring down a Viper under his tier 1 tower. They will fog him in, but here comes the Tusk to back him up. And Focus actually had infused raindrops. He takes a sonic wave to the face, and it looks like the Tusk will drop before they get the Viper. So Viper actually goes down, but he takes 2 along with him, and for the first time, I feel like it's a trade that sort of favors the Dire. Buriza might have found something here.
It does. I mean, if you take a look at the fight recap, it's a good amount of gold, and more than anything, it's EXP going in their favor. And Buriza will really get whatever they're getting at this point. I mean, the Viper is going to be pleased he got a double kill. And Aggressive Fight really overplaying the hand there.
Yeah, I don't think you can go in on a Viper with the Queen of Pain as your core damage dealer, because she's doing magic damage versus a hero that's got corrosive skin for damage reduction, as well as the infused raindrops that were expended during that last fight. So Focus was a really tough nut to crack. So Ramses, though, is significantly easier to bring down, especially if they can find some way to soak up the damage from the Eclipse when they go in. Even Pinkman's hit level 6, by the way, so they could definitely jump in and catch him off guard. They're gonna wait for the Lich to get in position first. Just having an extra bit of damage output could be extremely useful in this skirmish that's about to take place. Rocket Flare is gonna miss. They'll spot out Ramses as well as Hal. Do you really want a hook shot under the tower when he's got the Eclipse though? Looks like Pinkman doesn't.
Yeah, that'd be silly. Eclipse, a Fade Seed, to soak up whatever man.
Pinkman, don't do it, man. But this is going to allow them to do a lot of damage on this tower and maybe even take it down. Now the Luna will be forced back into the jungle. But again, there's an observer ward watching this. So if they really do want to dive in deep, they could. And they're going to walk under cover of a smoke as well. So they dodged the Dire observer that was meant to watch their rotation. This could be a very successful gank on the middle lane Viper. He's salving up for now. Lich, he's been spotted. Pinkman is coming in. They're gonna have to spend the hook shot here. The cogs, the battery is also all there. The chain frost will be thrown out as well, and Pulse will take one to the face as well. Because he focused on top first. Pinkman's in trouble now because the Batrider is into the party as well as Ramses, who pops the Eclipse and battling, hits the deck, and Pinkman's gonna follow him to the grave as well. They've taken the smoke along with But the Batrider inside the snowball. The Sonic Wave was suspended, but so too was the lasso. They've got Negi in position. Will finally blink away to safety while Basol will be left behind like the sacrificial icy little lamb that he's meant to be. But hold that thought, because A35 has a blink dagger and he runs forward, but without any mana to work with, he's not going to get a dual kill here. He might just get a single kill, but smokes at the shrine, and he's holding on before he pops it. The fight fizzles out, and it's Team Buriza that takes a minor lead once again.
Yeah, that's the first kill on paddling for them. They did end up losing the Viper, but they got both the paddling and the Lancer, as well as the Clockwork, if I'm not mistaken. What's really crucial is the death on paddling. Good rotations coming out from Buriza there.
Round 2 though. Could be
Round 2, quick duel this time on the Viper. Do they have the burst damage to bring him down without the Sonic Wave? They controlled him, they won't get the dual victory damage, but they will get the kill and possibly a tier 1 on the back of this.
Yeah, they should get this tier 1 comfortably. In fact, they're looking for more because Helm, oh, the cogs are not going to connect. Helm.
Trying to TP out, but the hook shot from Pinkman. Absolutely spot on. And I don't think Helm will be getting a minus anytime soon on the Oracle this time around.
Gotta commend the decision making in aggressive fight. I mean, the lasso was down, the eclipse was down, they died once, sure. They hit the reset button and come right back.
Absolutely.
Quick decision making, immediate reactions, and again, it's the mark of the team that's on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, irrespective of the result of this game, Aggressive 5 have moved beautifully in the lanes. It was a treat to see them move in those early couple of minutes. It seemed so fluid, so natural, so unforced. I mean, lane switches are always such a messy affair. One core buys a TP, then the other core buys a TP, and everybody's just TPing from lane to lane. But Aggressive
and in that time, you know, good teams can punish you.
Exactly, and Aggressive have punished their opponents here. I mean, Buriza did try to swap lanes a bit, but they have actually suffered at the back of this.
I mean, could be in a compromising position here. I don't know if Neji knows about this, but Pulse is actually in a very dangerous spot. But now he's actually in a good spot because he can get the jump on his opponents from behind if they're not ready for this.
I think the problem for Buriza is though the Batrider is still missing his blink by a little bit of gold. Possibly Buriza just give up this tower. It's not the most significant of towers. You still got a shrine to TP into if you want to access that part of the map. I guess you just wait for the Batrider to blink and then probably try and make a play.
Game plan and the itemization coming out from Negi. He's chosen to go for the Blade Mail as his first item. And with the Frost Armor, he is just playing come at me bro Dota. As he walks up and starts hitting on a tower, they basically want Buriza to jump on Negi so that they can turn it around with the rest of the counter initiation from a hook shot to a chain frost and a duel.
Okay.
Negi's fine with dying so long as he dishes out a lot of damage as he goes down.
So, I mean, the aim for Negi is to soak up damage, just unload a decent Sonic Wave, and
die if needed, as long as his teammates win. Anyway, here's the smoke movement coming out from Aggressive 5. There's a dire scan popped as well, which will not scatter this movement. And that means that the Viper could be about to meet his maker, but the Viper's a rather difficult kill to bring down.
He's gonna go for it. If goes in, he's got the duel, the rocket to scout on the sidelines, the Sonic Wave, as well as the Chain Frost unloaded. It's a killing spree for Soul of all people. And Aggressive 5 just keep on pushing while paddling. Keeps on farming.
Yeah, 35 finally gets a dual kill, so his damage has been boosted by 10. Tower, carefully on his bottom lane, while on the top side, there's Negi, that's out versus Wolfman. And more, did he get him to use the lasso? Oh, paddling!
Juke them hardcore!
Jibaited! Oh, he even lassoed it! Oh god, no.
Oh no, paddling!
The P-God is at it again.
Have you seen the movie The Prestige? that was Paddling's Prestige moment. He showed us something else and did something else after I mean, even for a second we didn't know what Paddling was.
This is so characteristic of a guy like Paddling. He's that brat. He's the brat of the team, right? And this is the kind of shenanigan that he's just. I bet he's just laughing his head off right now.
He's probably smiling. Hey, puzzle, look at that. Apologies for my bad paddling.
Yeah, that's not paddling, man. I don't know who that was. Anyway, you can clearly see they're having a lot of fun, even though you know it's such a crucial game for them.
Paddling has completed the BODs, 16 minutes in, and is making decent progress to either a diffusal
How's the
blade.
Luna looking, by the way? We haven't looked back at
the Luna. Is
it's the farming
a
efficiency
little
build.
poor.
Yeah, Mask of Madness a killer that's gonna let her farm in the jungle uncontested, sorry. But right now, Pulse.
Oops. They've got another kill on the Viper here and they're looking for more. Pulse, I'm not even sure what he's doing there by himself. Helm still to cast the false promise. Might probably throw it on himself. Keeps it for someone more valuable and ends up going down either way. It's a dominating streak on the Lich.
Uh-oh, they also see the Batrider now. They don't have a hook shot, but...
they're just going to run him down. Pikmin starts the battery assault. Then he is actually looking to freeze. Smoke blinks in aggressively. He's lasso on cooldown for a couple of seconds. Vision being provided by the rocket flare. Smoke not feeling confident about going in an aggressive fight. He's going to take another tower. I'm really not sure what happened. How did he catch the Viper? Was it a hook shot?
I'm not too sure either, but
okay.
I did see that the duel was off cooldown, so I'm assuming they caught him in the duel.
Okay.
And, well, they couldn't burst him down during the duel duration,
okay.
but they got the kill.
Anyway, Smoke's got his blink. He's got this lasso. He feels the anti. He catches Negi. This could be the kill they wanted. Queen of Pain before she pops a blade mail. But there's no real follow-up. Ramsey is still holding on to the Eclipse. Not there at the right place at the right time. And Pulse comes in a bit too late. Pasol goes AFK in the mid lane. Accepts his fate like a man and gives away that dominating streak.
The funny thing about that was he actually tried to sacrifice a range creep as he was dying.
I saw that animation. I wasn't sure whether he was giving frost armor or whether he was trying to sacrifice the creep.
I mean, the shenanigans on these guys, man. They're just so confident about going into these matches that even after a pick-up, after giving up so much lost gold, they have the presence of mind to be something's coming.
Yeah. And look at this. A little more scuff.
Oh man, no, don't do
the
this.
Shrine is active. He holds on to the duel. The Eclipse. Oh my gosh. It was absolutely not enough to bring down Legion Command. And look at that Negi with the Sonic Wave posting on the false promise. They lost A35, but they're all bunched up for the Chain Crush. They managed to bring down Pulse on the Tusk. Smoke out of position, doesn't have the lasso. 38 seconds to work with here, but I don't think he's going to stay alive too much longer. Pasol scores the kill. And Aggressify, they end up losing the Queen of Pain as well as the Legion Commander.
Well, you gotta run, my friend. You have to make a run for it, because one hit means he's out of mana to do anything here. If User Blade is online on Fathom. But yeah, it does end up being a 2-for-2 trade here. Both the Quap as well as the Legion Commander ended up falling.
There's a very thin line between fun and cockiness.
Yeah, this is leading towards the throw side of it though.
Yeah, I mean, A35 just jumped into the Shrine, didn't have his Blade Mail, and got punished.
There was also the clutch false promise by the Oracle that kept the Luna alive long enough to finish the job on him. Which kind of worked in his favor. Anyway, Pinkman's got himself a hook shot and the Blade Mail online. Now, Blade Mail is such a good item versus the Luna, because the moment she pops the Eclipse, she is at your mercy. Because, I mean, two of those heroes standing and tanking up the Eclipse and throwing out a Blade Mail means that Ramses is probably going to die, especially if he pops the Mask of Madness himself while that's happening. So it's a really, really thin line and a slippery slope that Ramses is walking on right now.
Yeah.
And he's got to be very cautious about when and how he uses that Eclipse.
It's not going to be all that easy for the Luna to just siege. I mean, if you stand in the glaives...
Negi. He could be in trouble here on this bottom lane. They've smoked up and are looking for the pick-off.
A35 coming in from the north there, the Rockets, I mean, they know where they are. The lassos there are right onto A35. The snowball as well, false promise, Fortune's End will ensure that Helm gets the kill of Purifying Flames right on top of Pinkman, and with a little bit of damage coming in from Ramses, they take away the killing spree of the Clockwork. But while all of this is going on, the last tier 2 tower under siege being brought down.
Yep. Well, I still think it's worth it for Buriza at this point. That's 1500 gold swinging once again in their favor. Look at the graph. It's stabilized and it's actually started to turn right back down once more. So I definitely think there's a fighting shot coming out here from Team Buriza.
Bottom lane though, Ramses this time around, it's almost like he wants to throw away the fighting chances that Buriza has. And Pulse attempting to save him with the snowball ends up going down as well. Both cores on the side of Aggressify pick up a kill apiece. And they still has the Sonic Wave to work with.
Yeah, that wasn't the play from Buriza at all. They shouldn't have been there. Luna should not have continued to waltz forward, expecting to take a tier 1 tower that easily.
It was a half-assed push. I mean, the Oracle wasn't nearby. And Luna, once again, woefully out of position.
Alright, Negi for now, he's going to try and apply some momentum on this bottom lane. He's got himself the ultimate orb picked up and is moving towards that link here, which is indeed going to add a layer of protection versus that Batrider's initiation. Right now, I feel like Buriza could still take very successful fights, but they cannot afford to break formation. I mean, you've got to have the Viper walking in first. You have to make it such that, you know, the Viper's the one starting the fights, latching on to a target that can't escape. and forcing the entirety of Aggressive 5 to jump the Viper instead. Looks like we're having a bit of lag here coming on. For this, we're going to have a pause as well. I've seen this movie. I don't like the way it ends.
It has one too many intermissions, in my opinion.
Alright, looks like we're good to go once again. I hope that was just a temporary spike because I would hate for this particular matchup to go down the drain.
Yeah, I mean, you said about maintaining formation with the Viper leading. They also need the Batrider to just start the fight with a good lasso. I think just that by itself is going to do so much for Buriza.
Yeah, never mind. Batrider is not even going to be like to play. But yeah, I think the Batrider
You think just send the Viper marching in?
Yeah, I think the Batrider is, you know, he's a byproduct of the Viper moving in first and forcing some spells out on himself. Because honestly, that's what the Viper is built for, to tank up some of the spells and let his team do the damage.
Okay, let's see how much he tanks up right now. Focus, trying to hold on to his tier 3 tower here, which is already down to 700 HP. Nehi doesn't give a damn in the world, pounding away on the tower. Finally shows a little bit of respect and backstand out of there.
He actually takes down Helm and is going to join his allies at the bottom lane. So they've opened up another 20-second window with the Oracle down. But Oracle's going to buy back. I really doubt he's going to have to use it. They might even just be content at sacrificing this POP.
Hook shot from Pinkman from down. He's got focused. Somehow pushes him out of the cogs. In fact, he broke his own cogs just to push out the Viper. Didn't want to be caught with him.
That was actually Viper using the Force Staff to get out of the cogs. So he got pushed on the way out again.
Okay.
This is pretty terrible, I have to say.
I mean, this seems to happen to Buriza a lot. I mean, I honestly feel bad for them. I haven't seen one complete game of Buriza.
Alright, so Viper is going to be walking on the front line. This is kind of the fight they needed, actually, for Buriza. I think Aggressive 5 should consider baiting on this one.
No, I think they might have this, actually, because the tier 3 is dropping low. They force out the glyph. At the very least, they're going to take the tier 3. Luna's, I mean, she's trying to catch up in terms of farm on the top lane.
So they're just sacrificing the tier 3?
I mean, that was their attempt defending it, I guess. I don't know.
What? Where was the Luna?
The Luna's in the top lane farming.
I don't know. I'm very confused by this decision. But either way, she's going to have a Manta style available for the next time around. But at the same time, you could link and finish up on Leggy.
Yep.
And Shrine's a fair game as well. This is not the way Buriza envisioned that push going.
24 minutes in, a Viper who laned versus a Phantom Lancer, mainly as a Force Staff to show for it.
While the Lancer himself has a Manta, Diffuser Blade and the Boots of Travels. He's on top of the network shot right now. Shrine number 1 taken apart, Shrine number 2 gonna follow soon, and I think Roshan should be the next objective here for Aggressive 5. They've got a great lineup to actually fight around the pit with the Lich and the Clockwork, so
right.
Why the hell not?
I mean, taking down Roshan is kind of painful. Possibly battling in Negi with the Frost Armor might be able to pull it off with a little help from the Legion Commander. But yeah, not a great Rosh taking lineup, if anything. Luna's got that Manta style, which is going to make her a little more survivable, if anything.
Yeah, but it's a double-edged sword, right? You take a chain cross with just your Manta.
Yeah.
You're going to be crying about it all day.
And yeah, like the textbook of Dota reads, Aggressive 5 have taken shrines and moved into the Rosh pit. While Buriza, they've got a whole lot of defensive wards. And
he wants to snatch the stage and he's gone and he snatched it! What a boss! The timing that requires is just unbelievable, and he gets it and he's gonna pay for it with his life. But the space was created and the layer of security has been taken away. His job's been done. But can his team back him up? He's actually out of there as well. No way that just happened. These are the kind of plays that Buriza needs to make more of, so that they can bounce back.
Bottom lane though, Ramsey's caught in the cogs, forced to pop the Eclipse onto Pinkman, who had the blade mail. He ends up getting the kill on the Luna, and the false promise is going to allow him to stay alive a little while longer. Battling low on mana, still has a bunch of illusions to work with, ends up getting the kill. It's a clockwork for a Luna, but more than anything, Batrider stole the Aegis and hell. Ouch.
Yeah, I think that's still good for Buriza. I mean, yeah, sure you lost to Luna, that could have been avoided, but Smoke has made the play and he's bought his team some time.
Aggressive are getting a little complacent there. not prepping for... I mean, I don't know. They had a ward near the Dire Shrine, but it wasn't enough.
They couldn't see him.
Yeah, I absolutely missed that moment. But look at this. A35 is just going to make up. He jumps right on top of him. But there's a snowball that only delays the inevitable, and now Pulse will fall as well. They're chasing Focused all the way until his tier 4 shrine, and they're pushing him back to his own base.
It's just illusions. It is just illusions that will send Focus back to the fountain. The mana burn coming out from the diffuser blade, and they actually went in without creeps. The gall on these guys to walk into the base without creeps to try and get kills before trying to take barracks. Barracks were under backdoor protection by then.
Yeah, and now they moved on to barracks. Pinkman, he's respawned, he's rejoined his team. Paddling's had enough. That smile wiped off his face. Look at that hook shot. He's caught Focused, didn't manage to get the cogs off. But the illusions once again being a nuisance. Pinkman drops the cogs, puts the blade mail upon himself. A Lincoln Spear for consolation, but he ends up going down to Focused as well. And Buriza, they've lost the melee barracks. Aggressive fire, I mean, they're not complaining. You're losing a clockwork, you're getting a much more valuable structure here.
That was the plan, just send the clockwork in behind enemy lines while the rest of them focus down the building. Perfect stuff from Aggressive 5. You've got to lose something to gain something, and the gain was much bigger than their loss this time around.
And yeah, Buriza, they're going to pop a smoke immediately and look for a play. But if I'm not mistaken, this Radiant Observer spotted it out.
Yeah, it's very likely that they got spotted by that Observer that's placed deep inside.
I think it spotted it out. Negi, though.
He has the Lincoln, so killing him is going to be slightly difficult.
Yeah, but he has no one to help him.
Oh!
What? Was Negi baiting them all along?
No,
his Lincoln's still active. His Blink coming off cooldown. That's a smoke that's been absolutely wasted. Pulse, his Blink dagger on cooldown.
The smoke Lincoln and tried to force staff him, but because the Queen blinked out, he ended up force staffing himself towards the right. Looks like this packet loss once again, and Focus is not happy about that. Although his Smiley will tell you otherwise. Paddling at this time has used the opportunity to push out this top lane. And he's going to do some chip damage on that tier 3. Luna, Illusion's going to slow this down as much as possible. They still have the lasso though, so they can consider making a play.
Yeah, they have the lasso. Who's the ideal lasso target? I mean, it's going to be very difficult to get the Phantom Lancer.
Probably the LC.
The LC?
Yeah, given the LC is the one that's going to be looking to dispel that lasso, I think you want to go for him. Anyway, Dai's going to pop a scan, so they kind of know where A5 are hanging about, but what they don't know is that Paddling isn't a part of this party. He's just going for his Aghanim Scepter, and once that's online, yeah, sieging the buildings are going to get significantly easier. You smack a lance on the back lines, make sure it bounces around, and let the illusions do the work.
Bounce is sort of less, but even if you just throw it upon the creeps, that's a lot of illusions that end up spawning. And you got a huge wave for which right now Buriza have no answers. I mean, the Viper's trying to build into a Maelstrom, but I'm not sure if it's going to come at a reasonably good enough time for Buriza. 29 minutes in, he's starting towards his Maelstrom. It's going to be a while before it comes online. It's going to be a while before it has any impact. Ramsey's on the Luna going for a Lincoln Sphere of her own. Just to stay alive versus the Legion Commander.
I think that's the plan here. Just stay alive for as long as you can and dish out the damage while you're alive. With Oracle Backner up as well, I think it could be a decent item choice coming out, but I'm kind of concerned about this Aghanims that's now complete on Paddling. This is what's going to start causing some severe issues for them if they just stand on the high ground and wait for Aggressive 5 to come at them. I mean, you can already see A5 sort of.
Okay, so Aggressive actually took a breather. They weren't aggressive, they weren't cocky. For 2 minutes on the map, they did nothing. They just waited for Paddling's Aghanim Scepter. It's crucial to see that a team that's always so aggressive, when do they stop being aggressive? And that's one of the prime examples. We're just waiting for Paddling to get his axe. And now they're going to group up again. Is it enough to break through Buriza's defenses? I think so. But those illusions die mighty fast as well. Smoke pops the Firefly. Negi, he's got the medallion, or is that a solar crest? Yes, a completed solar crest coming out from Pasol. The creep wave being cleared by the Firefly. Paddling just marches up. He's got the Frost Armor upon him. A Lotus off as well. Nobody willing to jump upon the Standard Lancer. The Glyph being popped as well. Negi goes in with the Blade Mail and flicks the hell out of there. Focused. Trying to deal with all these illusions. Ramses with the Mask of Bandage trying to clear some of these illusions. The tier 3 dropping low.
Yeah, they've kind of dealt with the illusions for now. I mean, Ramses on the front line, the Blades can slow this down. The illusions are hella tanky as well. There we go. The Aghanim Scepters probably going to start bouncing around again. There they go.
Goes in with the duel, but this Sonic Wave is absolutely with the snowball keeps him alive. But Pinkman with the hook shot, with the cogs, the Eclipse unloaded. Then lost smoke on the Batrider. The kill going into the pockets of Negi while Paddling manages to bring down 2. He takes down Ramses. He's focusing, and now he's focusing the Rags. Buriza, they just backed off, and they've even bought back on the Luna. Can the Luna and the Viper defend by themselves? Was the entirety of Aggressive 5? I'm really not sure.
Nobody died on the side of Aggressive 5. There was 4 deaths on the side of Buriza, and they're gonna lose top barracks. They're gonna lose middle tier 3. Bottom barracks is up for grabs as well. A5 are ready to fight once more. The Clockwork is making his way towards the middle lane, while the rest of them are waiting with their claws and ready to go. 35. In 1 second this time, but Paddling is not going to win. He's just going into Darren. Here's the snowball in. They're going to take the Viper along for the ride. While Aether is going to be kept alive for now. The Lotus Orb is there as well. He hasn't got he does have the duel, but doesn't want to use it. He'll lose his life to the Viper, but they are going to get the kill on Pulse nonetheless, while Ramses is busy using his mana to lose. Paddling decides it's time to go in. In fact, it's the Smoke Batrider that's brought in Pasol, and Pasol will hit the deck. They seem to be doing it. Team Buriza are turning this fight around, but is it going to be really enough though? Because they've still lost the lane of barracks. They've already got the kill on Pinkman, and now they're looking at Negi, the last and sole survivor on the side of Aggressive 5, making a clean break for it here, using spell after spell to try and run. Turns around to try and fight, but doesn't get enough done and ends up losing his life to Ramses, setting a massive amount of gold, swinging right back. But Negi is here on cleanup duty as he snipes off Helm from the backside.
Yeah, Negi being ever so patient there. I mean, he saw Paddling dying right in front of his eyes, but didn't didn't have the damage to probably jump in and make an impact. He sees Helm and just snipes him though on the backlines with the Scream of Pain.
Meanwhile, the bottom barracks have also been taken apart, so...
Yeah, I mean, all that stand between Aggressive and the game are a couple of tier 4s and the mid barracks. Buriza though, they need to make as much as possible of the small window. 40 seconds with no Phantom Lancer, try and pick up as many goals as possible. That's their best hope, I guess. I mean, try and push out the waves and hope you find a pick-off.
It's all high ground defense going forward from here. And if there's ever a hero to deal with super creeps, it's got to be the Luna. She is, well, this is a good game to have a Luna, let me just put it that way.
But it's been a buyback on the Luna, so a death on the Luna is really going to hurt Buriza if she is caught out of position. Viper's getting closer and closer to that Maelstrom. 200 gold and he have enough for the recipe. Oh, look at this, Smoke out of position, caught in the duel, 835. Teaming up with Pinkman, getting the kill, instant buyback from the Batrider.
Yeah, he's not waiting, he knows that the push was going to come without him, so you might as well buy back and hope that they decide not to push.
So, Legion this time around doesn't have the duel. And I guess if I look at this, a little bit of discipline, just when it's needed. They move into the rush pit. Can we see another godlike play coming out from Smoke this time around though? He's so already popped the Firefly. He's moving towards Roshan. He senses what's going on, but this time around, there are illusions that await him. Burning away at his mana, disabling his blink. And I don't think this time around Buriza are going to be that lucky though. Pulse and Helm smoked up.
Look at this, man. Illusions have just come running from all corners of the map to hit Smoke. This is as dirty as it gets. I saw illusions coming from the Rosh pit and coming from the bottom side of the map.
Smoke bought back, came from the middle barracks up to his own mid lane shrine and was sent right back. Focus though, this time undercover Smoke with Helm and Ramses nearby. They see Pinkman. Pinkman, notions given, jumps in with the hook shot. He's holding on to his blade mail. Negi unloads his and the Sonic Wave as well. Helm doesn't even get the fall promise off. The Oracle taken away. And look at this, Pinkman dropping low, but he's done his work. He's teamed up with the Phantom Lancer to bring down the Viper, who's now moving on for more. Ramses taken out of the equation. All of them dead. Only Tusk having buyback. The call is pushed now.
But the real call is GG. Oh man, that was just... It seems like Buriza might have had some signs of life. They did go for the Hail Mary play, fighting outside the base, where the Eclipse might have been effective, and where they could have possibly gotten some time to push out the waves again. But alas, it wasn't meant to be. Without a doubt, Aggressive 5 were the better team today, and look at that, there's smiles all across the board, and so are we.
Paddling brings a smile to my face.
Yeah, I really like this team a lot. I like the fact that, you know, it doesn't feel like a team that's completely professional. It seems like a bunch of 5 friends that said, you know what, let's get into this and have some fun. If we win some along the way, fantastic.
I mean, I play with 5 friends too, but we're not that good. I think I need to change my friends. That's the moral of the story if you follow Aggressive 5. One of them is him. But yeah, Aggressive 5, they have this sense.
And if the Viper is not good in laning stage, then the hero is just that hero just falls back off, and so there's no way Viper can recover from this game.
Well, makes sense. But in the meantime, I'm sorry, we won't be able to provide you with more insight on the game because we are running short of time. So we are going to take a really, really quick breather. And when we come back, we'll be back with our CSGO panel.
Try to go around the corner, get the second frag as well. What is going on, Falcon? No! But Ace is going to go in and get the third frag as well, and this is going for the flash. But well, look at the Ace getting the fourth kill.
The big jump, let's call it now.
The big jump. I think he'll be able to pull off right now. But Ace with a triple kill. What is Hunter is going to miss out on the shot. That is something that really happens. He misses out on the follow-up shot as well. Ace with a triple kill.
Again, he misses the shot, and
Ace going down, is going to get taken down though. It's Galley as well, the follow-up shot being connected. Hunter being taken down. Is he going to be able to close it down? He's going to go on the corner. AK, oh my god, look at that!
Wow, they're going to go through the smoke.
But look at that, AK getting the first round, trying to get the second one as well. He's going to get it. AK with the season right going around the corner. Look at that, that is huge, but Hunter completely insane. The map awareness, the situation awareness. And this is on point, getting the second frag as well. Hunter with the triple kill. This guy is a goal. Try to go around the corner, get the second frag as well. What is going on, Falcon? No! But Ace is going to go in and get the third frag as well, and this is going for the flash. But well, look at the Ace getting the fourth kill.
The big jump, let's call it now.
The big jump. I think he'll be able to pull off right now. But Ace with a triple kill. What is Hunter is going to miss out on the shot. That is something that really happens. He misses out on the follow-up shot as well. Ace with a triple kill.
Again, he misses the shot, and
Ace going down, is going to get taken down though. It's Galley as well, the follow-up shot being connected. Hunter being taken down. Is he going to be able to close it down? He's going to go on the corner. AK, oh my god, look at that!
wow, they're going to go through the smoke.
But look at that, AK getting the first round, trying to get the second one as well. He's going to get it. AK with the season right going around the corner. Look at that, that is huge, but Hunter completely insane. The map awareness, the situation awareness. And this is on point, getting the second frag as well. Hunter with the triple kill. This guy is a goal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again with the CSGO panel. I have Hector with me along with Adi. And well, welcome to the show again. And we've been talking about the matchup. And it's Shooting Monkeys and Entity Gaming. And this is
two best teams in the tournament.
two best teams in the tournament, the way these guys have been playing as well. I was actually having a chat with Spy, and he actually, for a surprise, for a change, he actually looked confident, even though they were going up against a team like Entity Gaming.
If it's confidence, it's misplaced confidence because right now he should be soiling his pants. Because Entity has literally, like I said, they spanked Eternal. Before that, they also spanked Brutality. So if they're going into this game with overconfidence, confidence is one thing, but overconfidence after those two Mirage wins, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be that easy.
So basically, they were just feeling comfortable in their own skin, and they were like happy with the setups as well. Like they've gotten sort of used to the setups. So you think that's going to play an important role in the matchup?
Well, I think they've been hot, so I think the role I think it's going to play is the obvious one, right? Like they're playing well, so they definitely have a puncher's chance. I think, for me particularly, I call this a heat check. I just think like in a best of one scenario, this is the game where like you want to see if you play your best, if you're able to compete like with the top teams, right? So if I'm Monkeys, I'm actually confident too, to be honest, right? Like I'm definitely confident here because it's a best of one.
It's a best of one.
Right?
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't share that confidence specifically because I don't think Entity is going to let it go to Mirage. We get to the veto when it's done, but I don't think, after seeing them win on Mirage against Eternal and Brutality as well, why would you risk that, right? And I've seen Entity in the past also not risk things, like always do respect bans, it doesn't matter, it's a BO1.
Talking about the veto as well, it's been done, dusted. We are going to have it on the screen as well. And looking at the veto, I think it's going to be pretty surprising because I've been updated on the clear comms as well that it's going to be a bit surprising, and I've been given a heads up as well. So if we could have the veto up on the screen right now, it's going to be interesting to see. But looking at the veto, what do you think? Because the final map.
What is the veto?
So
what's the map?
The final map which has been chosen, if I'm not mistaken, is Nuke.
Oh. Boy. So here's the thing. Nuke particularly is.
There you go.
A map that so since you think they're going to get creamed, let's ask him. If they start CT side and they get 10-5.
Who starts CT?
Well, if
Shooting Monkeys.
Yeah. If they start CT side and they go 10-5, it's a coin flip if they obviously are going to be able to win the pistol. But if they win the pistol,
yeah, all bets are off at that.
Can that happen on Nuke? Nuke is one of those. I don't want to say it's a random map, but Nuke is one of those maps that if you start on CT side, it neutralizes almost all the time any skill difference in team play because Nuke is so
one-sided. Yeah,
it's not just one-sided. It can be controlled by one player, right? So if someone is strong on the outside, if someone is really strong on ramp, or if somebody does really well on A, it can literally like ruin an entire team's game plan 100%.
And Adi, I'm sorry, I'll need to cut you off because we're running short of time. I would love to go into the deeper details, but I think we are going to go into the deeper details later on in the game, post-game as well. So right now we're going to we're actually going to jump into the game, but one quick question, because, again, we've been talking about Nuke. There were 2 respect bans, by the way. Entity Gaming banned out Mirage, actually banned out Cash first, and then banned out Mirage. Both the Puggish maps being thrown out of the window.
Cash is their perma-ban anyway.
No, that's there, but Mirage as well.
The respect ban was Overpass, actually. They banned Mirage and then Overpass, because Shooting Monkeys has upset a team or 2 on Overpass, and I don't think Entity is really strong on Overpass yet. Hence, right in the first game of the tournament, right, I was like, why has Brutality banned Overpass against Entity?
Yes.
So you could see that the respect ban coming out of Entity, they're smart. I don't think they leave anything to chance. Why leave anything to chance, even if you know you have the better skill?
But Nuke.
See, all right, the
they
thing
did
is,
leave something to chance.
All right, no, I'll tell you what. Even if Entity starts T-side, even if they lose the knife, they start T-side, they will still win the half.
Okay, fair.
Fair enough, and that's about it from the analyst panel right now. We are going to go straight into the game. The players are ready. So are the casters. Boys, take it away.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that, Mamba. And yeah, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Shooting Monkeys facing off against Entity. It's kind of like
I mean, both
setup. They're the finalists. It's going to be a pretty. I think it's both the teams now kind of testing the waters against each other. It is going to be Nuke. That is the surprise map that we're going to be seeing here. We see Ace looking pretty happy. Both the teams. Expected performance from Entity looking extremely solid throughout the tournament, but then Shooting Monkeys, a surprise of the tournament, having taken out both Brutality and Eternal Esports. So this should be a matchup which should be quite interesting. Entity winning the knife round, starting on the CD side, no surprises there.
Not at all. I mean, Entity are a team that are notorious for their outer control. They have like a vice grip on the outer, like outside mini and outside secret. But it's going to be curious because Shooting Monkeys are no pushovers on Nuke either.
Yeah, this is one of the maps that are pretty decent on, but it doesn't matter if Ribby's going to hit those shots, but he does get quickly traded. The bomb has been spotted out. It's going to come down to Ace, the pistol-on hero from the previous map, but he's running out of bullets with Hunter picking up 2 kills from Heaven, and is being helped out by his teammate as well as tapping away, not able to get more than 2 kills, but now it's a 2v2. SMX replying back with a frag of his own, and Excali is in a rough spot here, and SMX, the hero of the round, picks up 3 kills from what looked like an impossible situation there.
SMX just picking up exactly where he left off. He has been the revelation for Shooting Monkeys. It seems that he has been that missing element, that, you know, that void that Forsaken left when he left Shooting Monkeys for, I think it was Semper X. Yeah. And SMX has just come and found himself a new home. He has been one of the standout players. Actually, you can't really say who has been the standout player because Falcon has been amazing, Cerebro has been really clutch, Revolt, Spy, everyone's been contributing almost equally in this new Shooting Monkeys lineup. And, well...
The Force Spy, of course, coming out from Entity Esports. They do have the CZs all around. They have a Deagle as well. Scout in the hands of Hunter, who's going to be playing towards the garage area. He spots out a player, not able to quite get a tag onto him, however. And they're going to leave outer yard, opting to go towards ramp, where Excali is waiting with a Desert Eagle of his. He spots a player crossing over, immediately repositions himself. He's going to kind of fail a jump though, but makes his escape flashbang as he fades away towards the lower bomb site. In the meantime, A-Star getting a kill. Excali, he is deadly with his Deagles, but he's going to miss his first shot. Smart play from him. Oh, he's got to close the door, but he's going to get hunted down. Revolt gets the frag, but not before Ace picking up the Galil from one of the fallen terrorists. He's going to get the frag. 3v4 bomb yet to get planted, and they are running out of players. Hunter joins the party, picks up Cerebro. Ribby finds Revolt, and Falcon's left alone. He's trapped inside a Toxic. He's got a flashbang, and oh, that was cheeky flash, but the timing was off completely. A-Star gets the kill in the Force Spy. They win it so convincingly, and they just lose 1 player as well. As Entity, well, normal services have resumed.
Yeah, and more importantly, look at the Entity recovering all 3 rifles and an ump for good measure, just losing Excali there. So, well, Entity are like, yeah, we might have qualified, but we're just gonna do our thing here. Please, let us. Thank you. And with that, Shooting Monkeys lose their buy round against, well, Armor Pistols, and this is why we see the extent of force buying that is prevalent here in the subcontinent and the subcontinental CS. Because it works. It just works.
It just works indeed. And for Shooting Monkeys, however, they have shown a little bit of restraint. Apart from Revolt, who's gone for the Armor and Deagle. Not too sure why. But apart from that, they did get the bomb down. So they're going to be just going for an Ego. They're going to get $1,900 the next round, which should suffice for an okay buy. It's going to be still very sparse. And now for Entity, 3 Galils and 2 UMPs. That's how the previous round played out. A-Star tossing in a Molotov. This is a man who loves holding W and the left mouse button. He's going to make contact, and Revolt with the Deagle decapitates the MVP of the previous map.
The previous 2 maps.
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah.
Revolt has snuck his way towards Mini in the meantime, but the smoke is going to keep him at bay. Ace should be careful as the smoke will dissipate, and Ace getting taken down with Revolt again. The timing on the peak from Hut was pristine. And now Hunter, Molotov in hand, is going to be tossing it onto the site. Nade's going to sail it. Are they going to get E-code?
Yes. Yes, they are.
They do have a kit. Revolt doing his best to try and stay alive for as long as possible. Ribby recovering, goes for the wild spray. Excali's going to find Spy. Now it's a 3v3, but time is ticking away, and Excali needs to find another quick kill. SMX finding Ribby, making things a little bit more rougher for Entity here. Excali needs to get this kill, but SMX with the Deagle, he sprays him down, and it's going to be Hunter runs out of bullets at the worst time possible, and Falcon takes him down. And Shooting Monkeys, they give Entity a taste of their own medicine. Bear in mind, that wasn't even a Force Spy. Those was just upgraded pistols, and only Revolt had armor, no one else. You can see Hunter saying, "Ooh, what just went wrong?"
Yeah, that was a comedy of errors coming out from Entity Gaming. Like, and obviously favorable timings and peaks Shooting Monkeys, the stars just aligned for them, and that round just fell into their laps like a gift from the good gods above. And it's 1-2. Entity on the favorable side. This is Nuke. It is still a fairly CT-sided map. And there we see A-Star with the M4, but Falcon just gonna go absolutely ham on him. And Spy in the meantime has found Ribby as well. Excali with the Scout holding a ramp all by his lonesome will fall back to a more passive position. But so far, it's looking really bleak for Entity Gaming. They are going in for a force buy. Ace having...
He does have the AK. He's got a decent sum of utility as well to work with. But yeah, the man advantage could be a problem here. But then again, this is a map where rotation times just take like a couple of seconds, a couple of heartbeats. But Cerebro getting the kill on Excali is going to make life a little bit more miserable here for Entity. As Hunter and Ace, they realize it's going to be the low bomb side, and the Molotov is going to force Ace to make his way from Decon, where there is a player waiting for him. It's going to be Cerebro. He's going to open the door. He's going to walk straight into Ace, but Ace completely whiffing the spray. It's all on Hunter, 1v3, but he's on 12 HP. He gets the kill, but he's on 12 HP. He's got to get a couple of flashes to work with, but this should be the call for the save. And there we go. He's going to be tossing in a flashbang to try and mask his escape, as he will fall back. But Shooting Monkeys 3-1 up. Early days, but they do manage it. I like how passive they're playing here, ensuring that Hunter has no chance to go for this retake.
And also, like, I mean, it's essential for Shooting Monkeys to keep these two rifles alive because their economy hasn't really started building up yet. Only Falcon and Cerebro with any semblance of any economy. So it is crucial that they keep these rifles alive and keep, you know, both these players alive and kicking so that the money can start building on the entire team as a whole. And that's what's going to allow them that buffer should they lose a round sometime in the future. Will allow them to rebuy and, you know, gives them that little wiggle room and that margin for error. Without it, well, like I said, it is a CT-sided map. So if Entity can get their economy rolling and string a few rounds together, Shooting Monkeys will be in a spot of bother.
As Entity, they do have the M4. Whenever I say Entity, it sounds like a really dirty word. That's what I've been informed. I hope it doesn't. The aggression coming out towards outer bomb side, towards outer yard, I'm sorry. Just a few upgraded pistols. Ace has had armor and the CZ to work with. And A-Star is okay. There's no one covering them, but Excali giving away that he's made his way. He doesn't get any damage done, but they won't be expecting A-Star to stuck his way in. Information conveyed. Tell your teammates. Now they know SMX. He's going to be ready for him, but I don't think SMX really was. Where was the information there? Luckily, SMX does have the aim to, you know, somehow recover from the bomb. This is a comedy. This is an absolute comedy. Something which wouldn't feel out of place, which really wouldn't feel out of place in a 1920s silent era movie. SMX picks up 3, Spy finds Ribby, and Hunter is going to be left alone. He's going to find Spy. And right now it's trying to inflict as much damage as he can, because I don't think he's going to be able to survive this round. Falcon will end him. That... here's the thing, if they had pistols and armor, and it was kind of a force buy, or they had rifles, that could have been very, very worrisome for Shooting Monkeys.
It could have painted a completely different picture for this round.
Luckily, it was a full eco.
Yeah. In fact, like even when SMX came out hunting for Excali, he was dancing on top of Hut and fighting his teammate Falcon, and SMX was looking for him downstairs by Marshmallow. Why? Like, see, these are the things that separate the wheat from the chaff, the good teams from the bad, and communications. Your comms need to be in place. Yes, you don't need to be prattling off words all the time, but you need to convey relevant information. Where you've spotted an enemy is definitely relevant information.
Indeed, it is. You did. Yeah, man, you pretty much hit the nail right on the head. And we do have a technical issue being faced, I think, by Excali. He's having a little bit of mic problems, so a little bit of a technical pause. Shouldn't take long, however. But yeah, 4-1 for Shooting Monkeys. I think they'll be very happy with the start they've had. They've been surprised at the tournament. They've actually shown the first map, which is in Mirage, which was against Eternal, was a little bit more rougher. I think it was more of Eternal making too many mistakes, which kind of cost them the game. But against Brutality, they dismantled them.
They decimated them. But there is one fact that a lot of people overlook about Shooting Monkeys is that they used to be very, very good. In the first LAN, ESL Masters LAN, they got 9 rounds on LAN off of Risky on Mirage.
Yeah,
Entity managed 6.
They were the only team who got the most number of rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
and they've pretty much retained the main core. Okay. Yeah, they have. It's been Spy, Revolt, and Cerebro. And they've picked up Falcon and SMX, and they've just gone from strength to strength. Yes, they did get knocked out of the Masters division, but then they 7-0 challenger, and now they're back playing at the LAN in Hyderabad.
Yeah, like I've said this time and time again, they've been kind of like the team of rejects. Like Falcon played for Overcome, Revolt has played in quite a number of teams, Cerebro, kind of a Puckstar who really hadn't played in any serious teams.
I mean,
for
Falcon
quite a
also
long
used to
time.
play for Wolf for a time being.
Yep, SMX has played for Brutality. He's
Yeah.
played for so many teams in the Mumbai scene, along with Spy as well. So these are guys we've seen in many different teams, many versions of teams, and now all of them like, come together. And let's be very honest, when I first saw this lineup, I didn't really expect much from them. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be like the same old Indian teams, not trying anything special.
And also, like, with the addition of Cerebro and Revolt, like, they were more or less pug stars, even Forsaken for that matter. And Markelon, Spy was the only one, I'd say, who had been around the block. In that
Spy and SMX.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
in the original,
In the
Shooting,
original,
Shooting Monkeys lineup.
before they
Four
got
were
SMX.
pug stars, yeah.
Yep.
And now with Falcon and SMX, it's just the right balance of pug and experience, and which is why I see them rising from strength to strength. Like, they're attaining heights. They've strung together a series of wins. They've been supremely and sublimely consistent in their results, and the dedication and the hard work is paying off.
True indeed, but yeah, Entity 1-4 down. This is the first time I've actually seen them challenge today.
Yeah, I mean, they must be breaking a sweat right about now, because it's just been absolutely smooth sailing for them. They've been like a hot knife just carving through butter up till now, and finally it seems like they've hit a rock.
Hot scythe.
Hot scythe?
Scythe.
Scythe?
Scythe. Yeah, scythe.
Let's just take it one step ahead. Let's just call them a scimitar.
A chainsaw.
A chainsaw.
A hot chainsaw cutting through butter. That's overkill, but that's how these games have been.
How
so
about
far.
a BFG from Doom?
It's not a knife. It doesn't have a sharp edge.
It's the BFG.
You have broken that analogy, Archie.
Fine.
But it's fine.
Take a broadsword then. Fine. From the forges of Valhalla itself.
All right. Where are we going with this?
I don't know. The game's paused. You tell me. You were in the game, Blair.
The game's paused. Yeah. I think one of the true challenges of casting games is dead time, when there are pauses, there are delays and whatnot. And I remember like back in the day when I first started casting, and I didn't have a co-casting partner, I didn't have anyone to co-cast with, so it was just me talking to myself, sometimes for like 15, 20 minutes all by myself. And
it's quite enjoyable. I remember doing that for the first time during one of the ESL Masters games, and I'm getting text after text from production. It's like, dude, take a break. It's okay, dude. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I can.
But it does. I've been told that it can resemble mental illness at times. Just talking
I
to
wouldn't be
yourself all the time.
surprised, but yeah.
But anyways, we do still have the pause in place. I think one of the players having a little bit of issue with his microphone. We should be resuming it very, very quickly. I, for one, am quite elated that we're seeing a map apart from other than Cobblestone and Mirage.
Yeah, it is very refreshing to see Nuke as a caster, and I break out into cold sweat as an observer.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do not. I've seen like we have observers like Prius, like DJ. We have Sapphire as well, pretty well known observers, and they have the backing of some of the best production teams on the planet. Like they've worked with PGL, they've worked with ESL, they've worked with so many other well-known organizers. And one thing, no matter how much of support you give them, at the end of the day, observing does come down to intuition. And no matter how good intuition, it is so hard to figure out where the action is happening. We just look at the radar. Because, I mean, just look at the upper bomb side, for example. Like, you see sometimes you see like 2 or 3 dots, 2 or 3 of the players right on top of each other. You're like, wait, what is going on?
It's a 7-layer cake.
It's a 7-layer cake.
And
actually, it is.
The difference is that a 7-layer cake is delicious, and you don't want to miss any of the layers. And here, if you miss any of the layers, then chat will just go absolutely berserk on you.
Does the map overlay resemble a wrench?
It does, doesn't it?
With a piston sort of thing on top?
Yeah. I mean, it is supposed to be a nuclear power plant, but this actually resembles a gasket at a power plant.
I don't know if it's intentional. I don't think so. But the funniest thing is in CD spawn, if you stick around for too long on this map, you can hear the crackling of the electricity on the on the transformers. And when I first played this version of Nuke, the first few games I played on Nuke, I really thought my headset was not working. I'm like, why is my right headset crackling, right? Until I kind of figured out that it was just a map feature. So I think we have a restore coming in. We should be resuming with the game very, very quickly. It's been a pretty long day.
Yeah, it has been, but we did get to see some decent Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I mean, Shooting Monkeys has been the storyline of the tournament so far.
Yeah. They were the dark horses. They came from, like, they were the last to qualify. They were the final qualifiers for the DU Arena finals. And they've just come out of the gates all guns blazing. And now they've got Entity on the back foot. So, are we going to be witnessing a Cinderella story here? Or is it too premature to call that?
Too premature. I'm a man with no hope. Optimism is dead to me. As we do see Entity mixing it up a little bit, but look at Shooting Monkeys mixing it up. A fast upper take and have completely bamboozled Entity. They just had one guy, Ace, who got completely, utterly destroyed. Have control of the bomb site, bombs down, and now retake time for Entity. This is not easy. This is such a nice switcher from Shooting Monkeys. The nade's gonna sail in. Hunter, they're completely smoked up. They have no idea what's even going on. Molotov, Revolt, waiting for the smoke to dissipate. The crossfires are pretty well set up as well. The crossfires and the post plans. Falcon's gonna find Excali. Hunter does get a trade in return to Cerebro with a quick frag. Ribby's gonna be the last one staying alive, and Cerebro picking up a double kill. That was clinical, and you can see them. You can see these guys. They're pumped up. I mean, these are a bunch of guys who don't have Facebook pages. They don't have any social media behind them. I don't think they even have an organization behind them.
They don't even have jerseys right now.
They don't even have jerseys, right? They've just come out of nowhere, and they're playing some pretty solid Counter-Strike. They're mixing it up there. And here's the thing, none of the teams who have come to this event, apart from Shooting Monkeys, none of them have taken these guys seriously. I didn't take them seriously, neither did you. And they have just surprised all of us right now.
I just told the teams one thing, don't play Mirage against them. They're legitimately good, and they ended up playing Mirage against them.
And Nuke was supposedly the second best map, and Cerebro getting blocked by his teammate, but doesn't matter, he still gets the kill. It is a force buy, a light force buy, because it is going to be max loss bonus kicking in, so nothing much to lose. SMX lines up 2 kills, but Ace with the trade, and he does have the AK-47. Now, this is Ace we're talking about.
I mean, this guy can pull out rounds like a magician pulls out bunnies from a hat.
Would you say Entity have an Ace up the sleeve?
That would have to be a very big sleeve.
Well, yeah, okay. All right, I just have nothing to say there. But Shooting Monkeys bamboozling Ace, making noise towards ramp, but going to the upper bomb side, and Ace stuck inside of vents. And he's going to save this AK-47 into the next round. As Shooting Monkeys, they do lose a couple of players, but I don't think they're going to be too worried about it, especially with a 6-1 up on the T side of Nuke. That is pretty solid indeed. Ace will save the AK-47. Does it? I don't think the explosion reaches here. No, I don't think it does. Like, we see so less Nuke games.
I mean, let's be honest. Most of the cafes can't run this map, and that's where 80% of the teams are playing from. In fact, I cast games wherein there are 40-minute pauses because one of the players has to change cafes because the power went out in one of them. So, I can't really blame the Indian scene for not having Nuke as an active map in their rotation. But then again, being more honest, what's the point? Most teams have a map pool of half anyway.
I think that's the one thing where Entity stands head and shoulders, and why they're so much better than most other teams. It's not because, yeah, sure, they have the better players, all that stuff's there, but they have so much of a better map pool, like way deeper map pool than anyone else, and that gives them a freedom to do whatever they want. Cerebro is going to open things up. He destroys Ribby. And Hunter, the timing on that. He could have got that kill, and he will indeed. Revolt re-peeking out. I'm a little surprised he went for that. In the meantime, Cerebro.
Bro.
Everyone's bro.
Everybody's bro.
As Ace, waiting above. Hunter, I like what Hunter's done here, just shifting up his position, getting the kill over at ramp, now playing from garage. They might not be expecting this. He's holding a very, very passive angle here. Cerebro just might walk out to his death. They need to smoke off Mini, because I think Hunter has a sight. He has an angle in towards, through Mini towards, well, a tiny sliver towards Squeaky. Falcon gets a kill. Hunter, the timing is good. He gets Cerebro, so trades still equal. Ace is going to find Spy from above now, and it's going to come down to Falcon who gets a kill on Hunter. That's huge, but Ace, he is still raining death from above like an angel of death, but he's going to get taken down. SMX, he's going to read his perfect. The Molotov's going to come in. Excali, has he made his way above? He can't. The Flames are going to keep him at bay, and it's an opportunity for SMX to get the bomb down, but it's going to take his time. 37 seconds on the clock, and he's going to be rotating towards ramp. Excali doesn't hear this. SMX, has he probably overthought this? He has. He's going to be walking up to his death here. Excali is waiting. He's waiting, and he's going to see a head. Pop goes the Weasel, and that's going to make Scally winning the round. Must have been very surprised that SMX just gave him a free kill. SMX, if he got the bomb down up a bomb site, I mean, he had no idea where Excali was. So, really can't blame him for that. But still, Entity did get the first round on board. However, they just kept one guy alive. And that means Shooting Monkeys knows this, and if they can break the economy, they can string way more rounds here.
And the thing is, Shooting Monkeys have been doing this systematically in every game. They'll give their opponent one round, and then they'll just break them right back. They did it against Eternal a couple of times. They did it consistently against Brutality. But this is Entity. They are a completely different beast. Will they suffer the same fate is the question on everybody's mind. And I don't really think they will, because look at it, they've changed it up again.
I like this crossfire setup. A-Star holding passively while he has his teammate. Does he have a teammate right next to him?
No.
No, Hunter is playing towards Secret. My bad. I thought he had another player playing from Garage. No, A-Star all by his lonesome. Makes contact. Revolt will get the trade, but Hunter is floating around. But then Molotov, that's going to ensure they don't get treated immediately. And Revolt's continuing to aggress out here. I wasn't a fan of that, but I was a fan of that shot. That was so sexy indeed. Falcon finds Ribby as well. They're just winning duels. Just winning these duels single-handedly. Spy knows exactly where Ace is. The flashbang is not going to be good enough. Ace has no idea where Spy is, using this containers perfectly. And Excali, 19 HP was his 4 players. Nothing's going to happen. The money is in the dumpster.
Reset. Like I said, right, Shooting Monkeys have been doing this map after map, game after game. And Entity now feeling the brunt of the brute force that just Shooting Monkeys bring to the table.
A-Star losing the first duel. That shot onto Hunter was sweet. That was sexy.
That flick of the wrist.
Flick of the wrist. SMX just clearing things out. Excali will be spotted, and SMX exacting his revenge. Gets the kill. 72 for Shooting Monkeys, and Entity have nothing to work with.
Yeah,
they're completely reset. $3,200 on Ace. He might go for a pistol, perhaps, or might just go for a full save just so they can drop an AWP early as possible towards Hunter. But Shooting Monkeys in the driver's seat on the T-side of nuke. What is going on?
Force buy.
Slap me silly. I have no idea what's going on.
Force buy is going on.
Oh, never mind.
No, it makes sense. 4 players were under $1,500.
Yeah. It's going to be double eco anyways.
Yeah. But then I would have double ecoed and actually gone in with a stronger economy because you've just been Oh my. Okay, SMX. Cool.
Should be careful. Smartly falling back. Falcon has snuck his way outside. He's got his teammate as well nearby. It's all about positioning. It's all about timing. And Falcon is good with this. He's going to find one kill. Ace, nice shot. A-Star with the deagle from behind. If that's another kill. Oh, no. Not like this. They've been playing phenomenally so far, but losing to this Force Buy would be really ugly. Indeed, Hunter is in a great spot to counter this AWP. Because for Cerebro, he needs to get the shot. He does have his teammates making as well. I like the fact that he's waiting. He's waiting. He's not walking out alone. Not like the rest of his teammates have done so far in this round.
But I mean, right now, Entity have the man advantage. All they need to do is play trades.
The crossfire is set up. Oh, what a shot from Cerebro, but Excali. He strikes. He decapitates SMX with that hand cannon of his. Now with a 2v3, barely a 2v3, because Cerebro is internally hemorrhaging. He's on 9 points of health with that AWP of his, and he's playing a safe angle, covering towards vents, and A-Star's going to find Cerebro. It's one man against the world. It's Spy. He's got 33 seconds. He spots out Ace, goes for the spray, gets the kill. He's going to get the bomb down. A-Star coming in from the vents. Will Spy be expecting this as a question? A-Star right above him, and Spy has no clue, but neither does A-Star by the looks of it. They're clearing everything out. Molotov onto the side, and Spy getting the kill. Now, the Molotov, that's going to be a giveaway. Now he knows exactly where Excali is. Excali doesn't have a kid to work with. He's got to take the fight. He's going to land a nasty headshot. He's going to walk in straight into his cross. And Spy with a 1v3. That looked very scary indeed. But the fourth buy of Entity will be nullified by Spy. And, well, it's back to eco territory again.
And I like what Spy did towards the end there. He threw down the vanilla AK for the fuel injector. I approve. I absolutely approve. This is a man of good taste. And obviously tremendous skill.
That was well played there. And,
Yeah.
and I think it was kind of a slight little misplay from A-Star to just go dropping down when his teammate was still making his way. A double peek would have been perfect there, but, I mean, everything's easier in hindsight.
And also, I think he was... the comms might have been a bit off because... Well, okay. Hold that thought. Fett, hold that thought. I'm segueing myself out of statements now.
It's been a long day. It's all right. Everything's forgiven. I'm sure production understands. Hunter with a P250. Finds Cerebro. Revolt has made his... Whoa, wait. What? Did Hunter just go flying? Excali staring at the AK. He's like, give me that. Just give me that AK. But he will not find it. Just one casualty in that round for his Shooting Monkeys. A 9-2. See the buy coming. A 9-2 on the T side. What is going? Pinch me, Archie. Not that hard.
Mama.
Okay. 9-2 though, and all right. I mean, yeah, it is a game that really. I'm not too sure who the group topper, what they really get. Do they get like do they get the first map?
They get a cookie.
They get a cookie.
Production's just telling him they get a chocolate chip cookie, not 5A cookie.
Chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
You can see SMX. He's just laughing. He's having a blast here. I mean. For those of you who don't know, there's SMX further away from the camera, closest by is Spy, and the guy with a back turn, that's Cerebro, sitting in front of us. Then we have A-Star right next to the camera. He's been the player of the day so far, but right now he's being neutered by Spy. Sitting further away is, in both Archie and mine and a lot of people's books, the best player that we've seen in India this year, Hunter.
Hunter, the most improved and contender for the best, because I can also pitch a case for Ace, A-Star.
Most of Entity, basically.
Most of Entity, yeah. Excali has been a bit patchy, and so has Ribby, but they have their moments. That's the thing, right? When you have players on your team of this caliber, it's really uncanny to see you lose. And right now, it's looking strange.
Ribby.
There we go. Oh, okay.
Just two players. Oh, Revolt.
Wait, what?
What?
Okay.
What?
Death and destruction.
Revolt is
a god.
Oh, the double smoke.
Okay.
They played so well, and then the miscoms come in. The plant out in the open. Is Hunter going to push? No, he's going to wait for the smoke to dissipate. Almost stole plots out Revolt. I'm not too sure why he's still holding it, but he's kind of trapped here. It's going to come down to Cerebro. And how much of a bro can he be with that AWP of his? He's holding the right angle. Hunter's going to find Revolt. It's all in Cerebro. Oh, the cheeky shoulder peek. And Hunter is going to destroy any hope Shooting Monkeys had. But that round, though, it should have gone the way of Entity with 4 players staying alive. But Revolt, out of nowhere, 2 headshots back-to-back. And inflicting a little bit more damage. Now, the question is, will Entity survive? Because they still lose 3 players. You can see Ace.
Kya ho raha hai be? Like.
Yeah, if you had subtitles over there.
I can't translate that. It's television.
He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you covering me? What the hell just happened there?" They're not happy campers right now, or Entity. But yeah, Shooting Monkeys still have a lot. I mean, decent sum of money still remaining in the bank. It is round number 13. 3 rounds remaining in this half. If they win this round, they're going to reach the Entity again, and that's going to be the back of their minds.
And that will be haunting them, in fact. And okay, Hunter holding a very tight angle. He's going to be falling back because he knows that his outer isn't watched.
I love how floaty he is with the AWP.
But I think the player on top of, should have spotted him.
Oh, he's trapped.
And he's dead.
He is destroyed. Falcon with the kill, but a trade does come in. A-Star pushing in through Secret. And Ace, in the meantime, if gets a kill, Revolt is looking for the trade. He will not get a trade. Ace with the double kill as Excali champs in with a frag for himself as well. Spy is going to be left alone in a 1v4 this round. Should go the way of Entity.
I think we can call it at this point that this round, it should be 9-4. And it is indeed A-Star. Tired of being made into a pinata towards outside. He's just decided to take things in his own hands and has gone and wrecked everybody. But 9-4, 9 rounds on the T side on Nuke, that is commendable. Like, they've already won the half at this point, and now any rounds they get is just going to be padding and cushioning in case they do mess up on the CT side. And Entity, any rounds they lose is just going to eat away at that margin for error, and the T side is already much harder to play on Nuke than the CT side, and that nade is...
Excali, that Molotov just kept him alive. There were 5 players running in his direction. Still going to hold the line. Is he going to go for the spray? No. He's going to do a smart thing. He's going to fall back, call for backup as well. As ramp control has been relinquished. Revolt. This guy's... he's just going off right now. Clearing out the angles. Still scary though. Oh wait, what? How did he get the bomb? How did SMX get the bomb down when there were like a gazillion bullets coming at SMX? What is that from SMX? Jesus Christ. How did he get those 2 kills? 7 HP. Spy finds Ribby and Ace is nothing he can do. Spy gets 2 kills at SMX. SMX.
What just happened there?
Firstly, the bullets bent all around him while he got the bomb. Now there is a god.
And SMX is that god.
Or rather, the god's watching, whatever it was. There was something divine happening there. The bullet just bent all around him.
It was like watching the Matrix and Neo's just stopping the bullets. Like
I don't know what happened there. That is around shooting monkeys. Honestly, shouldn't. Well, they would have still won it, but it should have been much more closer than what that was. And now the final round's going to come in the first half. Entity have gone for, well, the Hail Mary buy. They open the hands of Ribby this time around, and Ace is going to find Spy with that CZ of Fizz. I'm not too sure why Spy came running out. The flashbang's good, but Ace will not be able to take advantage of it, although he does pick up the AK-47. 4v4, SMX down to 10 points of health, but what we found out is SMX 10 HP, 7 HP, or 1 HP, doesn't matter. You need to kill him before he kills you. Still a 4v4. There's one of the few maps when it's a 3v3 or a 4v4, it doesn't necessarily favor the T side, because the rotations, like I said it earlier as well, it takes barely a couple of seconds. Falcon, interesting angle. He takes his time to get off the ladder before he takes a shot. There's a guy on the side. It's going to be Hunter. Oh, and he's shutting it down like a boss. Looking for more. Hunter has been unleashed. It's all in AK Cerebro. 1v3, and Hunter is looking for the kill here, and he misses the flick shot. Hunter, I don't even know how he got those 4 kills in a row, and he ensures that Entity at least get to 5 rounds. Now, it's about a pistol round. If Entity win the T-side pistol round and the following 2 anti-eco rounds, things could get very interesting. But before we see the second half, we're going to be cutting to a very quick break, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back with the second half of what should...
गेम में आगे जाने के लिए माउंटेन ड्यू की बोतल उठा, कोड एसएमएस कर। हर दिन एक गेमिंग लैपटॉप जीतने का चांस। पाओ हर पैक पर 500 रुपए जबोंग वाउचर। माउंटेन ड्यू, नाम बनते हैं रिस्क से।
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the second half between Entity Gaming and Shooting Monkeys, and so far, Shooting Monkeys putting what was one of the most impressive T-sides on Nuke I have seen in the Indian scene. And 10 rounds, that is pristine.
That is quite interesting indeed. In Shooting Monkeys, 5 sets of USPs in armor. They're looking to take the fight, but it is going to be the outer yard getting compromised as Entity are barreling up. Spy's in a great position to take the fight, but there's a guy right above him, and I don't think he's going to be expecting this. He does manage to recover an A-Star, trying to hunt him down, but Spy with the last bullet, the last gasp. And in the last gasp, he's going to blow A-Star away. He's still floating around. He's still getting hunted down, but he's in a great position here. They have to face him if they want to take him down, and Hunter might just walk into... Oh, the timing, the timing! It just goes the way of Excalibur. Gets a kill on the Spy from behind. Falcon floating around towards ramp. It's a 3v4. Aggressive fall from Cerebro. A very aggressive fall, but Ribby's made his way above. There's no one for him to find, however.
Oh,
Ace
okay,
with
Ace.
the USP. Won't be expecting the second guy. SMX 1-2, looking for more. He's getting hunted down. Aim punch is going to come in. Excalibur will take him down. It's all in Falcon, and Ribby is waiting for him above. He will nail him with a bullet to the head, and that is going to be Entity winning a very crucial pistol round. Because if Shooting Monkey had won that round, it would have made life a little harder. But now, if Entity can survive the next 2 rounds, the force buy, and if they win that round, the following eco round, it could make things interesting. It'll be 8-10 then.
In fact, then we'd have a match on our hands. And, well, we have often criticized teams in India for not really having a viable CT side. Not just India, Asia in general. Let's see if that theory can be put to the litmus test right now. If Entity managed to mount a comeback and win this game after being 10-5 down on the CT side, that's kind of like that. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. Okay, Revolt opening things up with the kill on Ribby. Revolt has just been casually destroying the opposition.
Yeah, he just come alive today, especially in this map. He's looking for more. Deagle in hand. Will he get out of the ladder? Yes, he will in time. Excalibur should come pre-firing, or whoever pushes Hut or Squeaky should come pre-firing around the corner. This is a very risky spot from Revolt, because the door gets open. I don't think he's going to be able to turn around in time. Luckily for him, Entity are taking it slow. They've got a trade, they've got SMX, but these pistols are very dangerous indeed.
even with the nerfs, never underestimate pistols in CSGO. Many a teams and many a player have made that mistake, and they have never lived to tell the tale. Why is Falcon going for the repeat? Yes, he does dink Hunter down to 2 HP, but he should just be falling back after getting the information.
Revolt needs to make contact here. Oh! Wow. Nothing much to add there. That was beautiful. Cerebro with the nade. He finds Hunter. 2v2. 34 seconds. They'll have time to work with. But he got to get the bomb down, and there's a guy sneaking in. Excali switches over to the AK-47. Spy gets killed into Ace, so now it's a 1v1. Excali's got to pick up the bomb. 25 seconds. He's got to pick up the bomb, make his way to the lower bomb site. It's a smart call from him, because he knows where Cerebro is, and Cerebro knows this as well. He can pick up a gun. He's got armor as well. He picks up an AK-47. He's got a Molotov to try and play this clutch as well, and Excali against Cerebro. The two puck stars, when Excali is going to position himself better, gets to kill, and that was a very scary round. Now, will Shooting Monkeys force up?
In a perfect world, they would. But, I mean, they are a more reserved team in terms of their economy management. So, I think all we're going to see is that P250 being bought up from SMX.
And Entity with the two Mac 10s, they are going to be looking to farm a little bit of extra cash here, because they need that cash. 4 players dying is not the ideal scenario here. They need to try and get as much money as they can in this round, not lose a single player as well. Shooting Monkeys.
I mean, think about it, right? Agriculture is India's primary employer, and right now A-Star and Ribby are just channeling their inner farmers. They want that dirty SMG money.
Farmer lives matter.
Yes.
Who said esports cannot be socially conscious?
Every mother in India.
Well, we are having fun. SMX does get the 1 kill, but that's about it. 8-10. So Entity, 2 rounds shy of tying things up, as things have slowly but surely turned around. They have managed to win, 6 rounds out of the last 7. So that's a pretty good turnaround, considering it was 9-2 at a point.
So far, so good for Entity, but now is the real test. Actually, again, this is what irks me, is that force buy on the CT side. It's always going to leave you with a very neutered buy. Nuke is a map where you need that utility. You want those Molotovs. Not just need, you want them. That is how crucial they are. And we're going to have Cerebro. They're all playing so passive. They're just not going to face. They're just going to chill. But in the meantime, Revolt has pushed up and is playing by the edge of the smoke, which is going to fast disappear. He needs to make a play. And he's going to get flashed in the trophy room. Interesting. Very aggressive hold from Revolt Beast, but that smoke might just be a tell. But in the meantime, SMX burns alive. Ace. A-Star finds Spy.
Okay, Revolt finds one. Falcon chimes into Fragment Zone as well. A-Star and Ace. They strike together at the same time. It's all in Cerebro. He's waiting for the flames to dissipate as he slowly, sneakily makes his way up ladder. A-Star, it's about timing. It's about timing. Who spots whom? And A-Star spotted Cerebro. I think his gun blocked out A-Star there. He wasn't able to spot him at the right time. So, 9-10. Shooting Monkeys once again back to echoing days. And Entity now 1 round shy of tying things up.
And this is the Entity we all love and fear. Once they get rolling, they're like a snowball. They will not stop until they reach, well, the goal. And they just keep getting harder and harder to beat the longer you let them stay on that momentum. They're a team that are very much based on momentum, and you really got to try and stymie that early on, stamp it out as fast as possible. It's what Shooting Monkeys did very well on their T side, but so far on their CT side, they haven't really been able to find an answer.
The double peek, Ribby falls.
Why is Falcon going for that repeak?
There was no need. There was absolutely no need for him to repeak out again, giving the free kill over there. And now, 1 by 1, they fall. It is just pistol, so nothing much lost. Revolt getting blinded. Got a Deagle. Cheeky peek there. Does a bit of damage on the Hunter. And he does win the duel, the Deagle. The hand cannon inflicting a bit of damage. He survives on 2 HP as well. The war of attrition with Revolt coming out on top. He's picked up a double. SMX gets a kill.
I mean, Shroud Daddy is right. Greed is good.
Greed is good. Greed is good. SMX doesn't have armor though. If only Revolt... Oh, if he got that 1 more kill, that would have been huge. And SMX is sneaking from behind, and Revolt has conveyed information. He's told them where they are. And they won't be expecting SMX to come in from Hut. Or, yeah, Ace is there though. He's got the angles covered.
I mean, Ace is far too experienced to be falling for these tricks. And he's watching the right angle, and SMX will come out peeking the wrong angle, gets shot in the back, and Entity,
Tags up, scores a tied.
It is, well, 10 to 10, 20 rounds in. Going into the 21st round, we have the double ops out. First time we're seeing the double zoom bangers being brought into play.
Zoom bangers.
Yeah, boy. Stole
Yeah,
that
boy.
from Moses.
Okay. I like Jason.
Seems like a very nice guy. You've met him, haven't you?
Ah, Jason's awesome. Jason is...
You were his roommate in IEM Taipei, weren't you?
Yeah. He might be bald and I might have hair all the way up to my butt. But I think we're cut kind of same from the same cloth. We're both weird people.
Perverse.
Perverse. Really nice guy though, Moses. The cheeky shoulder peek coming out on top of old Red Rock, as I still like to call it. People still wonder when I'm playing Pugs, they're like, the Red Rock, they're like, what the hell is a Red Rock? I'm like, oh, sorry, you know, Silo. As Falcon, oh, the timing, and he gets two before he gets taken down, but he's inflicted the damage. Excali is so low. Spy's gonna help himself to a kill, finds another one. It's all in Ribby in a 1v3. He finds one, he needs to find two more. He's gonna get a second kill as well. Ribby versus Revolt, and Revolt just has an op and a USP, nothing else. However, he needs a bullet from that USP, and Ribby.
I don't think he knows that you can't plant
No,
up there.
I think he kind of missed that jump. Wow, that was annoying, by the way, when he could plant above.
Yeah.
Ribby the AK, and he's gonna clutch it out, the 1v3 from Ribby. Hello!
The grand old man of CSGO, of Indian CSGO, showing that he still got some moves.
That was, the second kill was pristine, by the way. Although I felt the player on the side should have peeked at the same time as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Falcon did all the work. The first two kills, Spy getting 2 kills as well, but Ribby bailing them out from what looked like a very rough spot indeed. And the Shooting Monkeys, the buy's not good.
And now Shooting Monkeys getting a taste of their own bitter medicine.
Look, it's the same old story all over again. I mean, they sound like a broken recorder, or like a broken gramophone machine, but no one, apart from Entity to a certain degree, I don't think any team in India knows really how to play the CD side of any map. Any map. It's nuke.
Yeah.
And the CD side setups, it's like Swiss cheese. It holds all over them.
I mean, the thing is, if push comes to shove, just put everybody in bomb sites. Just give up outer. They have to come to you at some point. I mean, it was a very viable strat in Source, if I recall correctly.
Source was about... Yeah, Source was a very strange game. Excali, Spy, not a big fan of that. I mean, I get when you try to get some real estate when you're a man down to try and get some information at least, but peeking out straight, walking into the lion's den there, not a big fan. SMX, he is a ninja. He spots out a player, good trigger discipline. Oh, calm taps to the back of the skull. A-Star's gonna fall. Now it's a 4v3. Excali's very low as well, bear in mind. So this could still go either way. Smoke's gonna come in towards Hut. And Cerebra, tight angle indeed, and he will find nothing. Hunter comes running out wide. He doesn't even need any help to get the kill. SMX, got a lot of work to do, goes for the spray, finds Hunter. But now it's a 2v3. And Revolt is in a great spot here. He is in the best spot to prevent this plant, and he's gonna get the kill into Ace. 14 seconds, he's got to just float around.
But Excali will stick that plant.
Yeah, he's got the side to cover him up, but he's gonna fall. 1v2 now. Ribby, it's gonna be all on him again. He pulled off the 1v3. Can he pull off the 1v2? This time around, the bomb has been planted for him. And he's got full HP and a couple of flashbangs to work with as well. No kits for the CTs. Bear in mind, but Revolt, what was that shot?
That was nasty. I need a shot. That was dirty.
That was sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet from Revolt.
That looked like one of those smoking shots from like, you know, these old westerns when they used to shoot their revolvers and just those style, for the style points. Just
He scalped him.
Yeah,
He just scalped him.
Yeah, long story short.
He scalped him. But that was beautiful. That was a beautiful shot. And he needed to land a headshot. Both of them are kind of low as well, half HP, both of them. And now the scores are tied. And this round is going to be very crucial. Because if you look at the money for both the teams, both of the money are depleted. Whichever team loses this round will have to go for an eco round. Or maybe a forced buy. Falcon spots out a player at the edge of the smoke. Nade's going to sail in.
And,
Do absolutely nothing. Okay. CSGO nades.
Volvo, please fix.
Good flashbang, but no one to take advantage of it. Okay, I think we have a player timed out. We have a player who's timed out. I think we're going to have a reset coming in. No damage inflicted yet. There we go. So SMX seemed to have timed out there. And we should be... Oh, looks like the PC restarted. So we will be having a small tech pause. Thankfully, no action had taken place before he disconnected, or else the game would been forced to continue. So we will be having a very short pause while we wait for SMX to join back in. But this has proven to be a pretty good contest. I think for the very first time today, Entity have been challenged, and by the team we least expected to.
Exactly, and not just challenged in a way that they're throwing and they're not taking it seriously, but no, both teams want that 3-0, that perfect record going into the finals, and it's just a question of who wants it more at this point, because both these teams, everybody's shown up on this server. They're all hitting some nasty shots, and they're playing some pretty decent Counter-Strike. Yes, the CT sides have been a bit sketch from both Entity and Shooting Monkeys from what we've seen up till now, but Entity got their act together towards the latter half of the first half. Can Shooting Monkeys pull together and do the same? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but the writing's still not on the wall. It's still up in the air.
As we do see the resume coming in. Shooting Monkeys. Although this game is kind of inconsequential because both the teams are in the final, it's a matter of pride. Yeah. And for Entity as well, especially, they've been dominant, and that's what we've been waiting for from Entity. That one fine day would start demolishing every team, every Indian team, and they would then be the best team in the country, a team that can challenge the other teams internationally, like the Asian teams and whatnot. But right now for them, it's kind of a matter of pride as well. Like, they shouldn't be losing this game. They shouldn't even be making it close. But Shooting Monkeys, they surprised me, man. They made a fan out of me.
I mean, the thing is, I like this never say die attitude that I'm seeing from Shooting Monkeys. They just don't give up. They don't know when to quit. They will.
And that's the freedom you get when you have nothing to lose.
And no personalities. And SMX gets the kill, but then there is Ace to get the immediate trade, but
Ace has been very good. But trade game, Spy finds Hunter. One of the rare mistakes Hunter made there, but there's a guy in the site, and Spy has managed to... What is Ace doing? And Spy with beautiful moments, just vaulting himself through the window. Falcon finds Excali, Rippy 8 HP. This might be a little too much for him. Husky walks into the flames. Fresh barbecue inside a nuke. 12 round of Shooting Monkeys. And Entity can scrape together a very shabby buy if they do wish to. Although ideally they should just be going with some pistols and maybe a little bit of armor at this moment. It's not too late. They can still play it a little bit more orthodox.
No, they won't.
They're going to force it up.
Yeah.
They're going to force it up. They're going to force it up.
I mean, this is the thing, right? This is when you can actually tell how Entity will perform under stress, under pressure, when they are taken to the wire and the questions are asked of, of them, of their playstyle. Because so far,
they really haven't been taken down to the wire, though.
I mean, when they're being pressured, that's when you start seeing the cracks and, the breaks in the armor appear. And look at, like, for this buy, for instance, there's no need. There's still enough time. And Hunter will get the kill onto Cerebro. Okay.
Falcon playing up close. Oh, no. Oh, no. He knows there are too many players. He knows there are too many players. He would have walked in to 3 players looking his direction.
I have never seen a harder physical embodiment of nope before in my life.
Oh, sweet shot from Falcon. He finds Excali. Follow-up Molotov, but it's a little too deep. There's a guy waiting for him around the corner, and it's going to be Ace who's going to get the trade. And this trade could be crucial because Spy and SMX have a combined HP of 29. And it's going to come to Revolt again. And he's been beastling, and he's in a great position. Look at where he is. Playing towards Decon. He doesn't need to give away his position. The rest of his teammate can play distraction. They need to distract for him, make as much noise as they can or whatever, and try and ensure that the T's are looking the direction. Hunter is in a great spot inside of Vents as well. SMX, he drops down, he's dead. Bomb's going to get planted safe. This is a good read. This is a very good read from Entity. They're not going to fall for the same thing twice. Hunter, oh no, he runs out of bullets. And it's all in Spy. 1v3, he gets a kill on the Hunter, but he's got to find 2 more. He realizes there's not much he can do in this round. He's going to get the hell out of there, saving the M4A1. But Entity, they're going to tie things up. So here's the thing, right? We complain about teams going for force buys and low utility buys, which should be punished. But the thing is, the anti-ecos are so horrendous for most of the Asian teams and Indian teams in particular that they don't go punished, and that reinforces this thought in the team who force bought that, hey, this works. Let's keep force buying together. But the second any of these teams face off against a team who have a decent anti-eco setup, they are going to get spanked, in the famous words of Adi.
Yeah, and you don't really have to add a rider to any any team that has a decent anti-eco setup. You can just remove the latter half of the sentence and just say any decent team. And they will get, in the words of the immortal Adi now, hashtag spanked.
Hashtag spanked. I think it's going to be a thing now.
It should.
It's should.
Nice.
I like the restraint being shown by Shooting Monkeys here. I appreciate it. The small little thing, I appreciate it. They could have gone for a force. They could have bought an M4. They would have 2 M4s, maybe a couple of SMGs and whatnot. They've gone for the safe route here. They just, with the M4 with Spy saved the previous round. It's a full buy for Entity, though at Revolts. This time he will not get lucky. He does inflict a bit of damage onto Hunter. SMX immediately falling back to Decon. Hunter leading the way.
I can just hear the Pink Panther music playing in my head right now.
Ba-bum. 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 Wait. I hope we don't get any copyright issues because of that. But SMX holding a very, very tight angle. They're not going to be making their way towards Decon. The SMX actually gets Hunter. Picks up an AK. No armor to work with, however. And he has been isolated. However, Spy's got an M4. He can still do something here, but where is Spy playing from is the question. He's playing towards Ram, but they walk straight into the M4. Now it's a 3v2. Falcon finds Ace. Now what is going on? Ace is all alone. And Entity, they've got a lot of work to do. SMX takes the fight. There was no need for him to take the fight, but he takes it. He doesn't do much damage either, and Ace is going to walk straight into the deagle from Falcon, and he will nail him right between the eyes. A bullet to the skull. 30-12, Shooting Monkeys invested virtually nothing that round, and Entity just gifted to them on a silver platter. More importantly, the money
is not there.
And a force swat again.
Hold me, daddy. Hold me. What am I watching?
Entity are...
have they initiated self-destruct mode?
I don't know.
Or will this Hail Mary buy work out? I mean...
There's no need to force this one up, because the Shooting Monkey is still in 13 rounds.
Yeah.
This is the same thing we saw from Eternal Esports, which completely tilted all
We shall not speak of that evil. We shall not mention it. It is ungodly. We are holy men. We are righteous people.
And Entity are, well, they've taken a book out of the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead.
Yeah, in fact, they are. And Hunter opening things up with the first kill on Revolt. Why are you pushing?
There was no need. There was no need for Revolt to push in there. He had a rifle, and as an M4, it's a force by they have armor. Hunter is going to waltz and gets another kill.
There, child. You sweet summer child. Welcome to Indian CS.
Why are they doing this?
It's okay, SMX clutch. 1v5 incoming.
And we have Subka Bro, Cerebro.
Yeah, Subka Bro.
I read this on Facebook. It made me giggle like a little girl. Cerebro with the op towards ramp. He's going to be playing tower defense, but he's not going to be seeing anyone. It's going to come down to Spy, who lines him up, but doesn't get the kill. And as the upper bombs are completely compromised, SMX should get this kill.
Oh my god.
I like Hunter. He's like, nah. You want to kill me? You got to walk into a crossfire. And Entity have won a force buy, an ill-advised force buy, without losing a single player yet.
Again. In the same game, in the same half.
I really truly do hope that someone's put Adi on suicide watch. Because it's very easy to kill yourself in Gurgaon where we are right now. Just walk in the middle of the road, boom. And Adi, someone please keep an eye on Adi, our analyst, because he won't be feeling really happy right now.
Well, at least Cerebro's getting those non-impact frags.
Exit kills.
Exit kills.
And Entity have turned it around. Shooting Monkeys are broke. 13 all, and I don't even.
They're gonna force.
They're gonna force. Well, they do have the op in Cerebro, who needs to really go off now. He's been very quiet with that AWP. Yeah. He needs to really go off.
He's been very quiet, period. Like, this map, he has not shown up. And that's the thing, when you're a frag-heavy team and one of your players don't show up, it starts to show. Just like even the cracks in Entity setup have been exposed by Shooting Monkeys this game. The same can be said for vice versa as well.
Falcon playing a rough spot with the P250. There's not much you can do. The nade could do some damage, but it's all about timing. He's going to try and spot someone out, but 3play is going to be peeking his direction. He's going to spot a... Oh! What? The nade stare as well is going to sail it. It's a shallow nade, but it does a bit of damage. What was that shot? I thought they nerfed the gun.
It's a fade away, dude. That's like NBA level stuff. It's just fade away, fades away
And
into
he's
glory.
reinvesting back. This is
Madness.
This is mad. This is sheer madness. Did they take away that AK-47 though?
Yeah. Debated.
That was smart. No, he picked it up.
We picked it up. Oh.
They
The
didn't
nade
expect-
blew it away.
They didn't expect him to push in so deep. Excali looking the right way, and it's going to be Falcon maybe pushing his luck a little too much. But the P250 converting a kill onto a player like A-Star with a P250, that's huge. And look at the damage on Hunter and Excali as well. Cerebro.
Oh.
Oh! Okay then, what is going on, Archie? What is even going on? And they're all gonna fall like a pack of cards. What is going on?
Like you said, Sabka bro, Cerebro has arrived.
Oh, he needed to land that shot, and the confidence, the sheer temerity of that man to sit there. I'm gonna no-scope you. You walk, I'm gonna no-scope you. 14-13, the last 5 rounds have been...
JW not best, bro best. that is the new meme.
The last 5 rounds have been the most ridiculous rounds I've seen all day. Just
crazy stuff.
Okay, you know what? I honestly walked into this game thinking both these teams are qualified for finals. I don't think we're really going to be seeing much of a matchup here. But this has been fun. A lot of mistakes, but it has been ridiculous, Counter-Strike.
It's been the most entertaining game of the day. Yeah. While Shooting Monkeys versus Brutality was the best game of the day in terms of how...
I don't get this by the way. Hunter's gone all out. Ribby's gone half in, whatever, and some of them are kind of a light buy and lots of tip, just full ecos. I don't get this buy. I don't know Hunter has invested everything in this round, considering it's 14-13. And Spy, not get the second kill, but the damage inflicted is huge, and they're going to come barreling out, and SMX with an AK-47 just gets a kill, though! And a Revolt's got a lot of work to do, and the bomb's going to get Panda's money in the bank, 3v3. Revolt. They know there's a guy in the side. Cerebro doesn't want to peek him because that is Excali with an M4A1. And Revolt with the spray transfer doesn't quite work out. And Falcon's going to get taken down. Cerebro strikes, but it's a man right above him. And this could be huge. Ace, he will not be expecting Ace from above. And Ace is snuck in. He's waiting patiently. He goes for the spray and he kills it. Gets the kill. I don't even. What is going on? Someone explain to me what in the name of all that is godly is going on. This has been the most ridiculous game of Counter-Strike I have casted in a long, long time. And trust me, I've casted a lot of ridiculous Asian Counter-Strike. This is just bonkers.
I am mute. Please to continue.
Okay, while Archie tries to recover, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I truly do not know what to say. I think we just open up tap for a second there. I mean, you cannot have so many back and forth rounds this late in a game. A-Star gets the opening kill onto SMX. Ace gonna find Spy. It's now a 3v5. Oh. Okay, Trey does come in real quickly. Revolt is going to come charging in looking for AK-47. He picks up the AK-47. There's a man behind him. He's getting hunted down as well. Ay. Mamma mia. Revolt will be found by Excali. It's all on AK Cerebro. But no matter how much of a bro he is, I don't think this is in his grasp. I don't think he can pull this one off. He's got no utility whatsoever. 11 bullets on a clip. And you can see the flashes and the smokes pouring in towards Mini. They know exactly where he is. And Cerebro is going to be like, all right. Nothing much you can do, just fall back and hold on to this M4. Probably get some few exit kills. But it is going to come down to the final round of regulation time, ladies and gents.
Oh.
Cerebro getting another kill. But he needs to keep his M4 alive, more or less, because everyone on his team is broken. They're going to have $1,900. And it is going to be Ribby who will nail Cerebro in the head. He's going to lobotomize him. 15-14, Entity and Map and Match Point Shooting Monkeys. $2,000 on average amongst all the players. It is the Hail Mary buy. What is going to happen?
I mean, it was looking really good for Shooting Monkeys at one point, and then
It was really looking really good for Entity as well at one point, let's be honest.
yeah,
It's just one of those games, aren't you?
I
I hope you guys are enjoying it. You know, all of you out there
we're
watching.
just flummoxed as to what's happening. This is constant back and forth, and I see our host Mamba just shaking his head as to like, dude.
Meanwhile, A-Star has once again made his way, and they're going to push in towards the lobby, and it's going to be Falcon. Oh, he gets a kill, but Ace with a quick trade, 3v3. Ace finds two now. Excalius manages to sneak his way in. Ace finds another one. Ace is on a mission of death
and destruction.
He is just mowing them down like he's a Grim Reaper, and it's all on Mr. Bro himself again, Cerebro. And A-Star will put a bullet to his end to finally close out the game in what has been truly insane. One insane hell of a game. I'm not going to even bother trying to break down that game. That made no sense to me. It was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was hilarious. It was fun. It was topsy-turvy. It was very back and forth, very nail-biting, yada, yada, yada. But to break it down, we have Mamba. We have our analyst desk alongside Mamba. And gents, just have fun.
I'm not quite sure how to actually have fun with this because the scoreline, I was actually outside trying to, grab something to eat, and I call Adi up. I ask him, what's the scoreline? And Adi tells me it's 1-6, and I'm like, fine, I guess it's probably Shooting Monkeys losing against Entity Gaming. I come back, and the scoreline's 9-2 in the favor of Shooting Monkeys. And I literally, my jaw drops, and like, I don't know how to explain this.
I'm glad that Hector isn't here right now because he would be like, I told you so. Because at this point, I was like, oh my god, I might have got a prediction wrong, but Jesus, that was some topsy-turvy game, especially that ending. I mean, to be honest, Blair and Fed put it perfectly into words. Like, what is going on here? Like, honestly, what was going on there?
To be honest, at least we are supposed to know.
No, to be honest, this game was such chaos, and it was so topsy-turvy that there is a lot to analyze, yes, but there isn't so much you can say, except it was a war of attrition, right? It was just basically who can give up, like who gives up first, who breaks the other one first. And finally, it went to the 29th round for them to show who's going to break. So that was really, really crazy.
And one of the other things that, Hector was actually surprised by the fact that this matchup was being broadcasted right now because technically, this apparently is the final leg, if you look at it that way, because these are the two best teams that are in the tournament right now. Yeah. If you look at the entire day's performance as well. Entity Gaming, by far, every day, every single time, every single tournament, they are the best team performing over there, but Shooting Monkeys as well.
I kind of want to put my tinfoil hat on right now. I think Entity picked up Nuke because, they just wanted to prove a point to Shooting Monkeys or maybe even learn if because Shooting Monkeys has picked Nuke against them in the past. And at that time, Entity had won 16-8 or 16-9 or something. So maybe they just wanted to know what Shooting Monkeys does differently. And maybe that's when the first half they weren't trying so hard. And hence they only got 5 rounds on the CT side. And this is a CT-sided map, by the way. So maybe they were just, mind games, just learning what Shooting Monkeys likes to do on Nuke so that when they pick it day after tomorrow, it's a best of 3, right? So they have Shooting Monkeys has a very good chance of picking up Nuke. So
my question to you is, did Shooting Monkeys really have to go all in? Because I'm pretty sure they have already qualified for the finals.
Well, I guess they wanted to prove a point, right? That we can hang with the big boys. We're not they were the dark horse of this tournament. Everyone put them out of contention, to be honest. Considering Eternal's problems, I was thinking Brutality is going to go to second place, and we're finally going to see them on the main stage, this year. That didn't happen. So I was wrong about that. And it's Shooting Monkeys, who almost went 3-0, who almost had 3 wins. But they also, taking nothing away from them, they won that game. They won 2 of their games. One of them really convincingly against Brutality, and they literally took Entity right to the wire with this one.
And, proving a point is a different thing. But making sure that you don't, open all of your cards is a completely different story as well. Because Cash, they've seen them play on Mirage as well. They've seen them play on Nuke now. Yeah. And Cobblestone. It's literally Entity just tested all the waters that was possible. And in a best of 3 scenario, you're going to ban out 4 maps. You're still going to be left with 3 maps. And they know them in and out, even on Nuke. Now, this is something that Entity will keep in mind. They'll go through the demos as well now. This is where Shooting Monkeys and the lack of their experience comes in, because imagine a team with A-Star, AS, Ribby, Excali, and Hunter going through the demos. Imagine the sort of havoc they could wreak.
Talking about going through the demos, right? I have a really quick round to showcase on Stats Helix. If we could get that up on the screen, yeah? Oh, hold on a second. There you go. Production. If you could get Stats Helix on the screen, please.
Well, I think we're on the wrong India as well.
Yeah, there we go. Now it's on the screen. I just want to point out, okay, Entity is 1-4 down at this point. It's the 6th round, and they finally have a bye. And Shooting Monkeys knows that they're bye because they force bot. Even the start of the game was back and forth. They force bot. You can see Entity's utility there on the screen. It's barely nothing. It's just 5 smokes and 3 flashes. So what do? I'm going to skip slightly up ahead here. They simply just do what any good team should do. There was such a perfect call. They just rush upper. They're not going to have the Molotovs at cabin. Like, they're not going to have the Molotovs here or here. They just throw smokes there. So they just walk into upper, to the A bomb side and completely just take over the side. That's it. And they hold it down with the smokes because no utility. Now the problem with Nuke is, right, it's a very weird map because force buys in Nuke generally work out. And especially if we, even there are other maps, other rounds as well, which showcase just a force buy working for no reason. Like, even at towards the end, all right, round number 28. I'm going to go round number 28.
And one of the other things that I would like to mention while you're looking for the round is the fact that Nuke is different from the other maps because of the fact that Nuke is a vertical map.
Yeah.
It's not a horizontal map. It's a vertical map. You have 2 bomb sites stacked on top of each other, and that's the reason why it differs so much from the other maps.
And look at this. This is the round where, again, towards the end, it was all force buys. This was round number 27, sorry. 2 M4s, 1 op, and 2 pistols. The force buy thing, right? This was towards the end when Blay and Fett were just like, what is happening right now? What is happening? This is not how it should go. The first kill goes to the CTs. It was a pistol kill, if I believe correctly. It was a nuts shot by Falcon right about here. It was a completely nuts shot on A-Star, that one bullet. I'm just watching there, and in the production room, right? I'm just watching this game. I'm like, what is going on? And eventually, it just goes from another kill to another kill. Like, all right, Excali gets 1 kill, but towards the end, they just walk in to Spy's M4 towards the end, and that force buy works. Again, so what I wanted to showcase here was simply the force buys in Nuke. They just work. Like, so we're always going to see this sort of game on a map like Nuke because it's so close quarters. It is so it's so possible for the pistols to work out, and hence you'll never see. Hence that whole game of, do you want the utility with the incendiary grenade, or do you want the pistol force buy and a chance to win? I think the force buy is always going to win out on Nuke.
And especially in India, we actually have the deco meta going on. Even though we know the other pistols are more effective in certain areas, most of the players who are playing for the top teams will always end up going for Deagles. Even though they're going to sacrifice a Kevlar if needed. I want a Deagle is the mentality that they go by.
Yep.
And for a map like Nuke, you don't have to worry about the angles at all, or the distance as well, because, for example, if you go to outer, you go to garage, and you're watching outer, the Deagle still is decently accurate at that range. You go to ramps, try and take an aggressive shot. You just have to hold off an angle at that range as well. Deagle is fairly accurate, and that's one of the other reasons why the force buy works so well. Because we saw a lot of Deagle shots. You saw the Falcon shot, we saw the Revolt shot. All of these guys going completely crazy with the Deagles as well. And if you want to play very up close, for example, you want to play outside the squeaky area, or you want to play inside the cabin area, get a P250 or a 5-cent or a CZ75.
At least finally the P250 is nerfed. The 1 bullet headshot does not happen anymore. So Blair was like, I thought that gun was nerfed when Falcon got that kill on the 27th round, right? It was nerfed. A-Star had taken a sliver of damage with a nade. So he was just around 90 HP. Because I think now the most damage a P250 can do is something like 92 or 93 instead of 100.
87?
No, something like that. It's
something
around
something
90,
on the similar lines.
Not 102.
Yeah, it's not 102.
103.
And it was quite funny. Imagine, you have a weapon which is worth $3,200, and then you have a weapon which is
$300 pistol,
$300 pistol, and the $3,200 weapon cannot do a one-shot headshot, but the $300 pistol can do it. And that's something that, just used to amaze all of us, because the weapon, by the way, I'm talking about is the M4 on the CT side, the M4A1S as well, and the M4A4.
$3,100 for that, literally 10 times the price of a P250.
And I mean, it's understandable if you think of it in the bigger scale, because you're defending a bomb site, and if you have a gun which can get a one-tap headshot, that's just OP. You literally cannot take a bomb site. When you have AK-47s on the CT side, and that's a point which Hector made as well. That he was looking at shooting monkeys, and they never really picked up AK-47s, even though they were around them. And imagine having an M4 which was a one-shot headshot, and you're trying to take a bomb site. So that's something that's not really going to be possible. But do you have any other rounds to add on to?
No, I mean, that's about it, to be honest. There wasn't, this game was so topsy-turvy, there was not much to talk, no rounds that really stood out so much. It was basically just back and forth.
My question to you, who do you think is the MVP? Because according to me, I'd probably give it to Hunter.
I would give it to Hunter as well. To be honest, I would like to look at the stats. I'm not too sure, because this game was so close. So many of the players were, there were so many standout rounds, and I think towards the end, Hunter did save it. Yeah, so hence he is the MVP, isn't it? It's fitting as well, because right at the end, 105 ADR. Wow, I did not notice that. That went past me, to be honest. 105 ADR over a 30-round game is actually insane. To maintain over that means he's basically got over a kill a round almost. Yeah, 29
One
kills.
of the other points, we're actually sitting inside the PCR. We had Nems as well going through the entire profile for Hunter. Now you mentioned one of the points that when he was playing for Semperex, he was fairly consistent with his impact rating.
Yeah.
Now when I talk about consistency, I'm actually talking about impact rating, but that is what Nems mentioned as well. But one of the other things that I would like to point out is the fact that once he got into Entity, he thought he was not all that consistent. But you have to remember the fact that in Semperex, it was Impale and Hunter leading the chart. These were the guys who were making the plays, who were getting the kills as well. In a team like Entity, you have Ace, A-Star, Excali, and Rippy as well, not leaving him out in terms of firepower. And that's jokes apart. These guys can go out and get the kills as well, and that doesn't leave an opportunity for Hunter to go in and get the kills as well. So I think it's not his form dropping out. I think he has been fairly consistent as well, but it's just that he has not really had those opportunities to shine out.
Yeah, I agree, and even Ace in this game was a standout performer as well. I was just looking at his stats now. Hunter had 28 frags, by the way. Ace had 29 frags, but Hunter had a few more impactful frags. Hunter had a 4K under his name as well, so that was interesting as well. Ace had a 1v1. Excali at one point had a 1v1 win as well as a 1v2 win. Ribby had that massive 1v3 win where he saved his team's blushes. So everyone had to commit. Everyone had to show up in this game, or they were going to lose this. But I still think in the first half, Entity was like, we're not going to play our actual setup. We're just going to try some, let's try something.
Well, it sort of opens up a lot of pages in the books of Shooting Monkeys, but this was a virtual final, is what Hector mentioned. Now, what do you think is going to pan out on the main stage? Adding to the fact that Revolt chokes like crazy on the main stage.
Wow, does he?
He does.
Where did he choke? If I might know. I don't remember. I don't think I was at the tournament.
It was the ESL Premiership Summer Season finale.
Yeah, he choked?
He choked really bad. Yeah. He did not have any kills. At the end of the game, he had 0 kills.
Wow.
That was something that happened. 0 kills.
Throughout the game, wow. So yeah, I mean, of course, playing against a crowd is a different ballgame, and a lot of the players in the Shooting Monkeys are very young. And Entity is, of course, used to playing in front of a crowd. But looking at this game, right, 16-14 that it went, either Entity is going to learn from this, and they're not going to insta-ban nuke, and they're just going to come out better for it. But at least this game builds up to make it so much more exciting. Now, finally, since we know it's these two teams playing, this was a nice precursor to what we're going to see.
Again, Hector was really upset about the fact that this was being broadcasted, and a virtual final was 16-14.
Now he can't be upset anymore.
He cannot be upset.
We told you so, Hector.
And this just goes on to add on to the fact that the final game is going to be amazingly exciting. It's going to be a best of 3. Yeah. It could have been an upset in a BO1, but the game was really, really close in a best of 3. I'm pretty sure not all the pug maps are going to be banned out unless these guys like Entity Gaming wants to go all in with a Mirage ban and a Cash ban.
I think Entity is going to stick to the Cash ban, or max they'd maybe do a Mirage ban. But obviously we can talk about this in the build-up towards the game on the 1st as well. Cash is probably, I think they might ban Mirage after looking at them on Mirage, but obviously Shooting Monkeys is going to go for Nuke, I'm pretty sure now. They're going to pick Nuke, or maybe Overpass. to be to be honest, because they're decent on it, and Entity looks shaky on overpass, and definitely after 16-14 on overpass, maybe they'll get false confidence, and they'll forget that I have my tinfoil hat on, my conspiracy theory that Entity was purposely throwing the first half to make this exciting for us.
The problem is that even though you have the confidence in your own abilities, I'm pretty sure all of the players from Entity and Shooting Monkeys are upstairs watching us as well, and your conspiracy theory just adds a whole new dimension to it because Shooting Monkeys are literally going to be brainstorming. What if are these actually right? What do you do if it's actually right?
Now I'm playing mind games with them. So Entity, thank you. Sorry, you should thank me. Not thank you. Entity, you should thank me. Now I'm trying to make your job easier.
You're going to have a secret check coming in. But jokes apart.
It's okay, I'm for sale. Entity, please, pay me. I'll talk nicely about you.
Or he might just as well end up playing for you guys if needed. Or you don't want to play anymore.
It's much more fun being able to point out other people's mistakes than have mine pointed out at me.
One more thing, it's a lot more greener on the talent side of things as well. Talking about greener pastures.
Oh my god, that pun. Oh. No, he's just doing that because I told him that, Jesus, this is so green. I know it's Dew Arena, but I'm so green, man.
No,
Actually,
this was more of an internal pun because when Adi was actually moving to the talent side of things, we were having a back and forth discussion because the first event he did was EIP Summer Season Finale, and he mentioned the fact that we have greener pastures on the talent side of things, and that is the reason why I made the joke. But in the meantime, we've had quite an enriching and enchanting post-game analysis session. So we are going to go on and take a quick breather. When we come back, we have the final game of the day. It is going to be Dota 2 coming up, so don't go anywhere. It's going to be the final game.
Try to go around the corner, get the second frag as well. What is going on, Falcon? No! But Ace is going to go in and get the third frag as well, and this is going to the flash. But well, look at the Ace getting the fourth kill.
The big jump, let's call it now.
The big jump. I think he'll be able to pull off right now, but Ace with a triple kill. Hunter is going to miss out on the shot. That is something that really happens. He misses out on the follow-up shot as well. Ace with a triple kill.
Again, he misses the shot, and
Ace going down, is going to get taken down though. It's Calling as well, the follow-up shot being connected. Hunter being taken down. Is he going to be able to close it down? He's going to go on the corner. AK, oh my god, look at that!
Wow, they're going to go through the smoke.
But look at that, AK getting the first round, trying to get the second one as well. He's going to get it. AK with the CCN right going around the corner. Look at that, that is huge, but Hunter completely insane. The map awareness, the situation awareness. And this is on point, getting the second frag as well. Hunter with the triple kill. This guy is a goal.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get it wrong.
waited a tad bit too long though. Edgo got the repel, got a purification, the blood right comes in as well. And it looks like Aggressive could be the one going down here. Sal's up on the backlines, his Sal runs out, gets brought down by Negi. As Kuroko Tetsuya goes down next. Negi with the double, has the rupture if he wants to get to the triple. Commits it indeed, pops his face boots and runs wide at deep threat. One punch, two punch, make it a triple Negi. But Negi, he's gone in deep. Meanwhile, the Echo Slam was there behind, all the way down in the delusion. Back into the fray here, you've got the stun coming out. They've got the kill on Kuroko Tetsuya, but the Guardian Angel keeps him alive. The Diffuser Blade purges up Negi, but remember, he still has the Aegis, as Aggressive will be the first one to go down. It's a double kill for Negi, who's still giving chase. The stun stops the Darkseer in his tracks, and Darkseer burns down to the Radiance, while Negi, once an Ultra, chooses not to go into the fountain, instead comes back. Slow and painful takedown. The hook is gonna miss. The Aegis is snatched by Negi. He does have the Eclipse. He has the Aegis to work with. He's gonna wait for life number one to go down. The lone druid gets swapped out of safety. Doesn't quite die just yet. The hook with his member on the backside, keeping the Queen of Pain at bay, who flips back out. Negi with the Eclipse. The Echo Slam from Gorenko. They've got the kills. They've got the double kill coming out. They've got the Fisher holding Arrow. And Arrow goes down next. Oh man, KKL comes into the fray, but the barracks are dropping. The hook is there. It'll pull back Flair further behind. It's Mega Creeps in favor of KKL. And this time it looks like it could really be over, but I've said that too soon. Again, it's 4 down on the side of KKL. With Draw Ranger being controlled, the shrines are popped again. It's a 5-man wipe. Gotten a fair bit of damage done. Even Pudge just walks forward and TFOs are dropping like flies here. No BKB, well, they have a BKB on Negi, but what can they really do here? There's the GG coming out. Freds fires the hook, finds nobody. There's the jump in though, they've got the 7 wards dropped down, the global silence is there, so no Guardian Angel comes through the back, the wall is there and it's beautiful. They're brought down to, there's the buyback from the Pudge, but the Guardian Angel has been dropped and they've gone in behind onto the Lina. She pops the cheese and continues to fight. The Corrosive Aegis has been dropped, meanwhile on the front line, the Aegis has been expended. Deep Pets, they're just circling around that Ursa is gonna respawn, gets Hex, but the Crush comes out onto 3. There's the Zip, Negi's in trouble, he turns around and tries to fight, but Arrow with a double kill. Side slowly and surely they're gonna chip away on this. A hook from downtown finds the Lina, but they do enter the fray with the shrines pop to back the wall as well. They brought down Perseverance. They're going for the next one. Deep Breath saves alive with the Guardian Angel pop. Lina taking a beating, getting zipped upon, getting jumped upon, gets surged on out, but ends up surviving with the Glimmer Cape as well. Oh man, that was a defense from the depths of hell coming out to keep that Lina alive, as now they go in and finish the job onto the TB as Ursa gets hooked closer towards Deep Breath. Has that Enrage now available. Triple kill for Negi, who's gonna pop the Enrage, turns around, gets control of the electric vortex, goes walking in. Hasn't got the greens available just yet. Looks like Negi will finally end up going down, turns around again, starts farming it over. Life kicks in, it's an ultra kill for him. Right as the dash connects, the GG gets called.
Trying to go around the corner, get the second frag as well. What is going on, Falcon? No! But Ace is going to go ahead and get the third frag as well, and this is
Going for the flash.
but well, look at the Ace getting the fourth kill.
The big jump, let's call it now.
The big jump. I think he'll be able to pull off right now, but Ace with a triple kill. What is Hunter is going to miss out on the shot. That is something that really happens. He misses out on the follow-up shot as well. Ace with a triple kill.
Again, he misses the shot and
Ace going down, is going to get taken down though. It's Scaling as well, the follow-up shot being connected. Hunter being taken down. Is he going to be able to close it down? He's going to go on the corner. AK, oh my god, look at that!
wow, they're going to go through the smoke.
But look at that, AK getting the first round, trying to get the second one as well. He's going to get it. AK with the quad. What the TCN vibe going around the corner. Look at that, that is huge, but Hunter completely insane. The map awareness, the situation awareness. And this is on point. Get the second frag as well. Hunter with the triple kill. This guy is a goal.
too far. Getting lost. I said I'm moving too far. Getting lost.
He has the Ravage. The hook shot is there from Butter. They've got them in the cogs. The Ravage dropped on top. But here comes the Monkey King with the Wukong. Come on, the vacuum ball. Ice Path, Micro Fire. It's a song of ice and fire. And look at them burn. Team Cancer being fought around bit by bit. They've lost the Tidehunter. They've lost the Warlock. And they're losing a whole lot more with this Sonic Wave. Are easy trying to man fight. Buriza did use the Sonic Wave. They lost 4 heroes.
You should not have crossed me.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, this is going to be the final matchup of the day. This is Dota 2, and I have my Dota 2 analysts again, CloudX and Swifty. But before we even talk about the teams, I actually want to bring this point forward that this matchup is going to be the most important matchup of the day because, you know, it's going to be Buriza versus White Shadows. And on top of it, the winner of this matchup secures the finalist spot for the main event. So it's going to be a lot of pressure for both the teams, and the matchup is going to be really important for them as well. So what do you think? How is the pressure going to pan out?
Yeah, I think it's... even if you win this match, you have to then go on and face the juggernaut that is Aggressive 5. So it's high pressure now, it's high pressure tomorrow, regardless of the outcome today.
This is the most important match for both of the teams because, you know, the winner from this goes into the finals, and both the teams will kind of reveal their stats for this match because they don't want to save for the finals if they don't even reach it. It's not a point.
Yeah, no point in saving stats at this point.
That's like Indian team saying we are saving stats for the major. But nonetheless, those jokes apart, we are going to have a look at the first team in question, Buriza.
An explosive team with a penchant for being the souls of mayhem. Team Buriza are quickly becoming one of the most fair teams in the Indian Dota 2 scene. Led by their veteran captain, the team performs exceptionally well as a unit and are thus the dark horses of the tournament with a solid chance of slaying the big guns.
Well, that's Team Buriza for you guys, and we've pretty much went through all the 4 teams. I mean, there's literally no point repeating the same things, but you've seen these guys play. And Swifty, I want to ask you this question. You know, you've seen them play a couple of matches today. How do you think their form is going to pan out? Because they have looked a bit shaky.
Well, after we have seen the matches, all I could say is like, it all depends on Clown K because to be honest, he's the one who carries Team Buriza because everyone just supports him. They boost his lane. They give him so much advantage. So yeah, I think he should step it up for this game.
Well, that's going to be interesting. And Nishan, do you have any points to add on to that?
I mean, I'm so confused with what Buriza has brought to the table so far.
It's alright. It's alright because of
it's been such a hilarious journey, right? Because they had a 1-1 trade-off with I believe they had this insane game where both of them went and took tier 3 towers, and we were laughing about it just earlier about how you know, Buriza decided we're going to take the tier 3 tower and then just run. They left everything they decided not to break anything, just went back to their fountain. This was versus White Shadows?
Yeah, White Shadows.
Yeah, so this is sort of
Alright,
the
in the
rematch.
meantime, that we try and take control over our guts and not laugh about it, we are going to have a look at the team number 2 in question, White Shadows.
White Shadow are a team that thrives on the natural synergy and cohesion created by all 5 players. They are like one mind, perfectly in tune with each other and ready to strike in unison. When they click and gain some momentum, there are very few teams out there who can stop the onslaught.
All right, that's Team White Shadows for you guys, and we're still actually thinking about the last matchup. But leaving that aside, talking about the lineup as well, it's going to be interesting to see because both of these teams have been really, really shaky as well, and the finale spot on the lines. Pressure is going to be playing a role as well. But again, how do you think the lineups go head to head?
I mean, so we saw Buriza, putting up some sort of a fight versus A5. A5 were just having fun. They were trolling. They were messing around.
They were laughing while playing. So yeah.
Buriza decided, it's a good idea to try and bring our A game up against these guys, but it didn't work out. So it's fairly evident that Buriza is at least a couple of steps behind the team like Aggressive 5. But when it comes to White Shadows, we saw both of these teams go eye for an eye before, the tech issues kicked in.
In the meantime, we have our draft going live, so we're going to have a look at it if we could have the production bring it up on the screen. And
oh, yeah. There it is. No green heroes. Rubik, I guess he's borderline green. No Night Stalker either. Night Stalker's been banned, fortunately. Viper hasn't been banned.
Yeah, they are not believing in the opposite team because the opposite team doesn't have a logo named as Aggressive 5. So obviously, they won't go with the green heroes.
Yeah, you can leave the green scum in the pond.
For Team Buriza, they have banned out Leech, which is a pretty standard ban in this meta. They have banned Venomancer. They don't want to deal with the serpents, like with their disabled daggers. It's annoying to play against.
Yeah.
And for White Shadows, they have banned both the roaming supports. If you see, they have banned out Clockwork. They have banned out Night Stalker. So I think they don't want the early pressure from the position fire from the opposite team.
Yeah,
roaming here and there.
The meta has been at a point where the position 4, or so rather the position 3s are being played as position 4s, right? Clockwork, he was an off-laner once upon a time. Now he's a roaming pick. Night Stalker was also an off-laner once upon a time. He's a roaming pick now.
Even Slada.
Yeah, Slada for that
Slada
matter.
was an offlane. Like, it was a pretty good offlane pick back then. But after this meta came into existence, the Slada is just roaming position 4. He's helping out other lanes. He's just constantly harassing mid with his Slithering Gust, which is his stun, second spell. So yeah.
I think it's mostly because of the way Shrines and Bounty Runes came up, right? So even as a roaming position Slada, you'll still catch up in terms of EXP by picking up Bounty Runes time and again. What I'm a little confused about is, what's the first pick Spirit Breaker doing there? I just don't understand why that's such a high priority.
I'm not sure because I think Team Buriza have decided they have to trust in the 17% man.
Yeah, 17%
17% is most likely 100% in the bashes. So, and they've opted to
I
go
really
for
feel like,
Disruptor,
Ice Frog loves the Spirit Breaker a bit too much. This is a hero that shouldn't be bashing this often, but I mean, it's only 17% for the face of it.
Yeah.
The label under it is something else altogether.
As for White Shadows, they have picked up Earthshaker and Rubik. So, I'm guessing this might be an offlane Earthshaker because they have picked it first, and it can be a point to confuse opposite team. Rubik is also a pretty standard support pick. It helps in the lane. It's really good. Its ability to lift is always good against an offlane.
Yeah, it's also not bad versus the Spirit Breaker, right? You can lift him mid-charge, throw him back, and make something happen.
There won't be any bashes if you just lift him before he reaches to you.
So there's a part about Rubik that's really underrated. I feel like the Null Field is a spell that should be given a lot more love than it gets of late. So what the Null Field does for the newer viewers is essentially it provides an aura of magic resistance. So any sources of damage that are classified as magic damage get reduced when they come onto you, as long as you're near the Rubik. It's a good pick versus heroes like the Venomancer, not too bad versus the Disruptor in the mid-game stage as well. And it kind of means that Buriza are going to have to pick up some heavy physical DPS-based scores going forward. Do you think a Templar Assassin makes sense here?
Yeah, I was definitely going to bring that up because Team Buriza, as I said, they have Clown K, which is like, he is the guy who excels in Templar Assassin, man. So I think this might be a 4th pick Templar Assassin. because still now there are no threats as from White Shadow's side.
What?
Because Earthshaker and Rubik doesn't do much to the refraction provided by Templar Assassin. So yeah.
I'm thinking this Spirit Breaker early pickup could be a sort of, an indicator that says we're looking to pick up the Tinker and we don't want you to get a way to deal with it. White Shadows should have watched Clown Case Tinker earlier on, right? He
Yeah.
played a hell of a Tinker, pulling out that Hex pretty early on. I'd like to see them ban it or pick it themselves, but now it's going to go to the 5th ban, and if Buriza wants, they could very well pick up the Tinker as their 4th pickup.
So as we see, they have picked up the Legion Commander as an offlane. So it's definitely position 4. Earthshaker, he's gonna roam mid and probably help LC also in his offlane.
Bolo Jai Bajrangbali.
And here
Back
comes
on the
the
field.
monkey. So Team Buriza have opted to go for the Monkey King. I think it's really good against an LC because LC is a melee offlane. And for the new viewers who doesn't know how Monkey King works in safe lane is that he has his third spell, which is known as Jingo Mastery. If he hits an enemy 3 or 4 times, then it stacks up and the damage is really uncontrollable.
Yeah. So after 4 hits, you essentially get like a burst in physical damage for the next 4 hits, I believe. And you also get life steal per hit. And the best part is it actually works with his first ability, the Boundless Strike, which stuns you as well. So it's a very, very well-rounded skill set that he's got going as long as you can continue pounding away. Kind of like the Ursa.
Yeah.
Viper.
It's back. I mean, the green hero is back.
Mountain Dew represent, the green heroes are back.
Viper is also a good, I guess, because they have heroes which charge into Viper, but Viper has LC behind him. LC's second spell is that it can dispel any stun, any the long duration stuns. So Viper will be really hard to kill this game.
This is a tough game to bring down the Viper. Yeah. I actually feel like this might be one of those awkward blade mail Viper builds coming out. Mostly because of heroes like the Disruptor that throw down like a bunch of spells on his head and just walk away before he can do anything to them. Corrosive Skin returning damage along with the blade mail could work wonders in their favor. There's also the control that the Viper brings versus the Monkey King. The problem I see here is Buriza's Monkey King doesn't really have a way to get spotted on treetops. There's no flying vision on the side of White Shadows. Do you think they have room for a Tusk here?
White Shadows?
Yeah, it seems unlikely.
No, I don't think they will pick a Tusker because they already have an offlane.
Yeah.
Their position 4 is Earthshaker, as we all know.
Yeah.
Rubik is going to support the safe lane as position 5.
So
they actually need a safe lane, which is position 1.
I don't think there's any safe lane, any 1 positions that have flying vision, right?
No, I don't think so.
No one that really comes to mind at the moment. Maybe, you could run like an unconventional 1 position LC and then still go for something like a Bat Rider. Can't really tell if the Bat is banned. No, I don't think the Bat is banned. So I mean, you could do that. You could pick up the Bat Rider as your 1 position, but it's such a tough decision because there's a Disruptor on the other side.
And what do you think about pocket strats? Is it going to come into play in the end of the picks?
That always comes to the last pick, man. You always have this pocket stats which come out in the form of last picks because you have last pick is the best pick in Dota while you are drafting, I guess, because you have this mindset that you can see the 4 heroes and your last pick can do
so you kind of
many things.
you kind of expect what the final pick is, and then the pocket stat just comes at you and it blindsides you. At the moment, I don't see too many opportunities for a pocket pick. I'm thinking of heroes like the Brood Mother, but both sides have ways to deal with the Spiderlings. I'm thinking of an Alchemist, but the Alch could be punished on either side again. Maybe, White Shadows could pick up an Alchemist here. Okay, we're going to go with the Mirana. No pocket strats here. Just going to go with the straight up standard core Mirana by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think it's position 1 Mirana in the safe lane with Rubik backing him up.
And they kind of have flying vision going. I mean, it's not flying vision, but it's still,
the arrow gives vision. And as we all see, White Shadows have banned the Tinker. They don't want Clown K on the hands of his Tinker because he plays exceptionally well on that hero. So it all comes down to Team Buriza's last pick.
And I mean, if they had any hopes of picking up a Templar Assassin, now it's gone out the window because of the Viper pickup.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see because they're already in the reserve time. Last pick coming up as well, and it's been quite a long draft, to be honest. I mean, usually they could go this long, but through the entire course of the day, through all the matches, I don't think any draft has been this long.
Yeah, I don't recall any
yeah.
long
This
drafts. I
was
think
the
that's
longest
because of the
draft.
pressure of this game, but they'll finish it up with something standard. They'll go with the Queen of Pain once
Yeah.
again. I was kind of hoping for a Storm Spirit pickup. I really wanted to see Clown K Storm Spirit once again, but I guess I can agree with this. I feel like the co-op does make sense.
Yeah, co-op lane's pretty decent against the Viper. So yeah.
So looking at the final draft, what do you think?
I think I would go with Team Buriza on this game. Like,
Is it?
apart from the draft, they have really good skilled players, which I know personally. So yeah, I think Buriza has got.
What about you, Nishant?
I want to say White Shadows has this.
This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. If you guys were, agree. You try to support the underdogs. They sort of lost out, but Swiftly, this is going to be your chance to shine out. If they actually end up winning this one, this is going to be interesting to see. But, in the meantime, I think we're pretty much done with the analysis session because we have the final draft. We have everything that was supposed to be said about the game and about the teams as well. So we are going to go on a really short commercial break. When we come back, we'll be back to live action.
Just waited a tad bit too long. The Red Go got the repel, got a purification. The Blood Right comes in as well. And it looks like Aggressive could be the one going down here. Sal's up on the backlines. The Sal runs out. He gets brought down by Negi. As Kuroko Tetsuya goes down next. Negi with the double. Has the rupture if he wants to get for the triple. Commits it indeed. Pops his face boots and runs wide at deep threat. One punch, two punch. Make it a triple. Negi. But Negi, he's gone indeed. Meanwhile, the Echo Slam was there behind. All the pick down in the illusion. Back into the fray here. You've got the stun coming out. They've got the kill on Kuroko Tetsuya. But the Guardian Angel keeps him alive with the Diffuser Blade. Purges up Negi. But remember, he still has the Aegis. As Aggressive will be the first one to go down. It's a double kill for Negi, who's still giving chase. The stun stops the Darkseer in his tracks. And Darkseer burns down to the Radiance. While Negi, once an Ultra, chooses not to go into the fountain. Instead, comes back. Slow and painful takedown. The hook is gonna miss. The Aegis is snatched by Negi. He does have the Eclipse. He has the Aegis to work with. He's gonna wait for life number one to go down. The lone druid gets swapped out of safety. Doesn't quite die just yet. The hook, the dismember on the backside, keeping the Queen of Pain at bay. Who plays back out. Negi with the Eclipse. The Echo Slam from Gorenko. They've got the kills. They've got the double kill coming out. They've got the Fisher holding Arrow. And Arrow goes down next. Oh man, KKL comes into the fray, but the barracks are dropping. The hook is there. It'll pull back Flare further behind. It's mega creeps in favor of KKL. And this time it looks like it could really be over, but I've said that too soon. Again, it's 4 down on the side of KKL with Draw Ranger being controlled. The shrines are popped again. It's a 5-man wipe. Gotten a fair bit of damage done. Even Pudge just walks forward and JFOs are dropping like flies here. No BKB, well, they have a BKB on Negi, but what can you really do here? There's the GG coming out. Brett fires the hook, finds nobody. There's the jump in though, they've got the 7 wards dropped down, the global silence is there, so no Guardian Angel comes through the back, the ward is there and it's beautiful. They're brought down to, there's the buyback from the Pudge, but the Guardian Angel has been dropped and they've gone in behind onto the Lina. She pops the cheese and continues to fight. The corrosive Aegis has been dropped, meanwhile on the front lines, the Aegis has been expended. Deep Pets, they're just circling around that Ursa who's gonna respawn, gets Hex, but the crush comes out onto 3. There's the Zip, Negi's in trouble, he turns around and tries to fight, but Arrow with a double kill. Side slowly but surely they're gonna chip away on this. A hook from downtown finds the Lina, but they do enter the fray with the shrines pop to back the wall as well. They've brought down Perseverance. They're going for the next one. Deep Breath stays alive with the Guardian Angel pop. Lina taking a beating, getting zipped upon, getting jumped upon, gets surged on out, but ends up surviving with the Glimmer Cape as well. Oh man, that was a defense from the depths of hell coming out to keep.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Dew Arena 2.0. We've got Team Buriza facing off versus White Shadows, a game that ended in a draw earlier on today, and hopefully this time it has a better ending. My name is Vivek, with me is CloudX. It might be a little late in the night for some of you, but when we were kids, the best things on TV came late in the night. And we've got some good Indian Dota for you.
Indeed we do, as Buriza will be taking on White Shadows in the rematch, like you pointed out. This is a really crucial game coming out because one of these two teams will be joining Aggressive 5 at the finals, at the main event. That's going to be happening at Andaz Aero City. That's happening day after tomorrow, this Sunday. So if you're in the area, do be sure to come on over. If not, you can always tune in online, on TV, on D-Sport, and watch us as well.
We're on TV now.
The esports life. Anyway, Buriza's going to be on the Radiant side this time around, while it's going to be the Dire with White Shadows. We're still waiting for Clown K to get back into the game before we get this show on the road. But honestly, I feel like this is a fairly even draft. I know on the panel I did mention that I feel like White Shadows has the upper hand, but it's too close to call. It's going to boil down to individual play. And what are your thoughts on this, Vivek? Who do you think is going to take this one?
I'm leaning towards Buriza. I just feel they have a slight edge in the draft. Both teams have committed very heavily to the idea of fighting early on. It's a good game to be a Rubik. There's a lot of good stuff to steal. And I just sense that Pulse and his experience is going to make the huge difference early on. I mean, he's going to be playing the Spirit Breaker. Yeah, he's on the Spirit Breaker. And I'm kind of hoping / assuming that he's going to have a more impactful game early on than that Earthshaker. But yeah, it's so close. The earlier game was a draw. We really didn't know who the clear winner was. Hopefully this game puts it to rest. I mean, both teams, they just drafted all out the wire.
Yeah, what troubles me though is that Buriza may have a lineup that falls off towards the late game stage. I always feel like you're on a clock when you pick up a hero like the Monkey King. And even the Queen of Pain to a certain extent, she does scale, but not as well as a physical DPS score like the Templar Assassin or even to a certain extent the Viper.
Yeah, even the Mirana scales reasonably well with all these talents. And if she does get a quick level 25, I mean those 3 arrows, it sounds gimmicky, but it's a pain in the ass. It's a moment where you all have to rethink your positioning and then group up. Early smoke coming out from Buriza. Similar movement coming out from the side of White Shadows. Primarily Earthshaker getting that Observer down, which is going to help out the LC. Pulse though, he's not at his shrine, gets blocked off by the Fisher. Do they have the damage to bring him down? Blank, he's holding on to his skill point. Pulse holding on to his, but right now, just going to run away scot-free.
Yeah, I think the big problem is if you do get caught out as a Spirit Breaker like that, there's just nothing to charge to at this early on in the map. The only other way to actually get out of there is to have someone trigger Roshan's Linkins and then charge onto Roshan. It's such a long shot.
I'm amazed at how you thought of that. I really did.
I mean, I was panicking for the Spirit Breaker.
How would he do that? How would he get out of there with charge?
I was actually panicking right now for the Spirit Breaker, so it crossed my mind, like, how would I get out of there? I'd probably ask Pop to Shadow Strike Roshan and move.
I mean, there's a Shadow Strike on the Earthshaker. He's just trying to get as much information as possible early on. Both sides, I mean, they've done as much as they could. They haven't gotten punished just yet for any of these deep wards.
Although I think the Radiant Observer was dewarded. I can't quite tell if he planted it out there. There is one in the lane, so I'm not entirely sure where the second Observer ward has been planted for the Radiant. No one's holding on to it either, so yeah, I would assume that it got dewarded up on this cliff here. Either way, you've got the middle lane with the Viper versus the Queen of Pain. This is a matchup that should bother the Pop quite a bit. In fact, Viper started with Poison Attack. He's already started to lay his claws right into that Queen of Pain, but Pop has an opportunity at this point to try and turn around. But look at this, the Fisher block is there, and they know that there's no blink, and Focus is going to go down. Me versus Me will claim first blood and won't even die for it.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start to the lane. In my opinion, this is already a lane that's Viper favored. And after first blood and Queen of Pain just sitting there with Shadow Strike, he's just going to get a whole lot worse.
Yeah, that's 1 point in the corrosive skin, so Cop's going to have to think twice before popping a Shadow Strike on the Viper. Problem is, Viper's almost out of mana.
Bottom
He's got
lane,
himself.
Blank, caught in the kinetic field, only 2 stacks of Jingo Mastery.
And Ramses is going to need himself boots to actually make something happen on Blank, because right now Blank has the movement speed advantage. He's actually going to need more than just the boots. I think even the Orb of Venom might be a necessity in this laning stage for him. But
for
For the Monkey King, yeah.
Oh, okay. Does Plesty attack dispel Jingo Mastery? I think it should. I'm not sure if it works that way.
Yeah, I think it does. But I mean, he dispels it on himself.
Right. So, I mean, he's going to be fine in lane to some extent.
Monkey King is, well, he's got 4 stacks of Jingu at the ready, but he's got no Boundless Strike to work with. He's still at level 1. So Blank is going to use this as an opportunity to go in. Ramses is walking up to him. They've got the kinetic field to hold him in position for a little while now. There's the Boundless Strike coming out from Ramses. He hit level 2 along the way, but it's just a level 1 Boundless Strike. And now as Blank salves up, Pulse comes in from the side. They get another hit off, and they're going to get the kill. Ramses finally does end up getting his money's worth there. The Orb of Venom.
Yeah, but the more impactful rotation has definitely been the one in the mid lane. Viper's pulling ahead in terms of CS. What's the EXP looking like? I mean, the Viper's at 4. The Quap is just hit 3.
Yes, he's a full level ahead at least on that Viper.
So the mid lane's pretty much gone to shit for the Queen of Pain. It's not a hero that makes a recovery in any manner, really. I mean, you have to try and get kills across the map somehow. Once you get Sonic Wave, there are a couple of possible targets mid lane, though there's a charge onto the Viper focus. Can he get a kill in return? Drops the Shadow Strike and blinks the hell out of there. Pulse though, all by himself, nothing to charge to. I mean, does have charge coming off cooldown, but me versus me, he's being disciplined about this, not overcommitting.
This isn't enough to deal with the Viper. And I mean, he's gone for 2 points in the Nether Toxin. Round 2. Pulse might forfeit his life for this. Yeah, he's going to go down, and it's actually going to be the Viper that gets the kill first. So the EXP bonus kicks in as well. That's not worth it. I think Focus is just going to get like one creep wave, one additional creep wave off of that along with that 1 kill. So, I mean, he's really going to have to call a TP out on this Quap soon enough and move away from this lane and make a play elsewhere.
Yeah, but I presume he wants a little more levels before he does that. He's still only level 4, while the Viper's level 5, so the level disadvantage is definitely coming into play. I guess Focus the Clown K has to fix as soon as possible and have as much of an impact as possible. And though he's found Blank in his own jungle, Blank pops the Plesty attack, the kinetic field, making sure that Helm is safe in his own circle, while Blank runs away.
Okay, that was the awkward defensive kinetic field used out there, but...
If the Battle Pass was still in use, some very awkward voice lines would be used back then.
Anyway, Lift coming out on the top lane, they're kind of diving past here onto Smoke, and Smoke is gonna end up dying on Lulu, just with the preemptive leap, or rather the rather late leap coming out from him. He ends up cupping a lot more damage than he should have. And Pulse was there meanwhile to get the return kill, so he gets a fair bit of EXP from that, and even sticks around to get some creeps.
Yeah, Smoke starts out with the Stout Shield, goes into the boots. I mean, his standard stuff on the Sand King. I was wondering if the Poor Man Shield and a Magic Stick would have possibly made him a little more survivable. I really don't see the Mirana and the Rubik having enough right click to bring him down, and the magic damage just at 5 minutes in isn't enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the point in the Sandstorm now, so that should help him stay alive in the lane.
Right, but you can sort of stay alive, but
Arrow could still tag you, yeah.
And you could even just drop another target and he'd end up getting stunned.
They're actually thinking of going in on this Viper at the middle lane. This is a really risky play to make.
It's going to take one more hero to rotate, not just...
It's a level 6 Viper. I don't think you want to be doing this.
He could turn around. I mean, Buriza are really pushing their luck here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're playing with fire, or rather they're playing with poison over there. Blank. Gonna get hit with that Jingu stack. Now the kinetic field is there as well. This could be a kill. The Jingu mastery damage is now gonna kick in, and Blank is gonna end up forfeiting his life to Ramses and his Monkey King. All it took was 2 of those heroes with a little bit of vision coming in from the Spirit Breaker. Rubik's rotation was a tad too late. Earthshaker even made his way there.
Viper Strike onto Focus. They're trying to chase him down, but Focus does have his shrine. He's gonna stay alive for the time being.
Yep, they're going to force him to pop that shrine early on here at the 6-minute mark.
How's
the Viper still has his.
Looking like in terms of net worth. It's the individual net worth, like Okay, so Vipers at the top. Monkey King doing well for himself. Oh my god, look at this. They've caught Pulse on the Spirit Breaker. He's cornered with the Fisher, but look at that. The cow with his horns pushes them aside and runs right down to the bottom lane.
Later, bros, then he fist bumps all of them and makes a run for it. Pulse is out.
Is it inappropriate rap song for that moment?
He actually spotted 3 heroes as well. So that's a lot of positioning information given away for the first night time.
And now he's charging onto the mid lane. This time around, Focus does have the Sonic Wave. This could be a dead Viper. The Arcane Rune on Focus as well. It doesn't get better.
He didn't even need Pulse for that one. He just got the kill by himself.
The glimpse onto the Mirana, who rotated all the way from a safe lane towards the mid lane. And Earthshaker pops the mid shrine.
Actually kind of... Oh! That was some miscommunication. The lift. And then the throwaway on the other side. The arrow doesn't connect and Smoke bails.
One thing that I have noticed about Buriza's draft is that it's not going to be doing Earthshaker. That's not your shrine mate.
This is Garden Gaming once again. There's the caustic slow as well as the Orb of Venom kicking in here. This should be a death on him. The arrow though, skimming past, I don't even know how that arrow misses, man. That was a confirmed kill. Double kill for Pulse now. He's looking for the third. This is like lambs to the slaughter as Honolulu's going to end up forfeiting his life. Next to the Vipers here to try and save the day. Smoke just goes undercover of the Sandstorm with the burst strike. Gets the kill on the Mirana but loses his life to the Viper who gets a double kill at the end of the day. It's also a killing spree taken away from Pulse, so it may just have been worth it.
Could we take a look at fight recap? Yeah. I mean, it looks like it benefited Buriza there.
It essentially was a 3-for-2 trade after all, so.
It's a kill on the Mirana who shouldn't be dying this early on.
But bottom, they end up getting a kill on the Earthshaker as well, so it does seem like the Dire are taking quite a beating. Ramses though, he's actually gone in further and gets himself a double kill. While Honolulu's here to try and fight through this. Pulse is undercover. He's right under the tier 1 tower. 3 stacks. Make it 4. He needs to get the lifesteal up but doesn't quite get it there. And the leap has already been used, so the Sands King with the Burrow Strike might just be able to secure a kill. Pulse, did he just cancel a charge preemptively? Looks like he did. Honolulu's been tagged with the Caustic Finale. He needs a blind Burrow Strike to connect here. Smoke! He actually goes north and finds himself a kill on the LC instead of the Mirana who he was going for initially. They have an arrow available if he can find the line here, but he's going to have to thread the needle very carefully on Smoke if they want to get this kill. In fact, Smoke is coming in here. They're using the Mirana as bait, and now with the Fisher they could set up an arrow. The Fisher is there, the arrow's there too, but Smoke will sidestep it to the north as he's now going to get lifted by the Rubik and thrown right back down. I think this should fizzle out into a clean and quick escape by him, but that could have gone a lot worse for the Dire, I have to say. I think Buriza...
Mid lane though. It seems as if B versus me teamed up with Legion and got a quick kill on Pulse. There's the duel though, onto Focus who just committed the Sonic Wave. It's an early +10 damage going the way of Blank. And it's a triple kill for the Viper who's on a mega kill streak.
That's his full Dragonlance now complete. We're 9.5 minutes in. He's on 5.2k net worth. And he's just absolutely crushing this game.
I'm just curious, what do you think is the item of the most utilities that the Viper could pick up now, post Dragonlance? Blade Mail? Lotus Orb?
I'm actually gonna say it's a Lincoln Spear.
Okay.
There's a lot of reasons to get the Lincoln Spear.
But charge
right?
just breaks it very easily and then you can lock him down.
It's more so for the Nether Strike and of course the Glimpse.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't see what else. Maybe you could go for some armor to deal with the Monkey King, but then you're still susceptible to being picked off and out of position by that.
I think Blade Mail is a phenomenal item versus Monkey King. Monkey King wants to hit you, do physical damage.
Yeah, but Monkey King also has lifesteal, so I don't know if the Blade Mail really does help that
Okay. I saw a game where it ended up working really well versus the Monkey King.
I mean, Jingo Mastery gives you like a stupid amount of lifesteal, 60%. So.
Pulse charging into the enemy shrine. Lucky that the LC doesn't have a Blink Dagger. And lucky that Honolulu is not connecting his arrows today. The overwhelming odds though, right on top of Pulse. A kinetic field to hold them off. The Viper Strike committed as well, but the duel is there. Another duel victory going the way of the Legion Commander. And Helm just watches his comrade die and backs out of there. Still searching for that level 6 on the Disruptor. Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. Shit. The 5 position who sits in lane and keeps the momentum and the wave and usually gets a bounty rune almost always, hits 6 before the 4.
Ideally, yeah. But
I mean, the fight should hit 6.
that's
by
assuming that the
10,
4.
11 minute mark.
I think that's assuming the 4 doesn't really have a great game.
Doesn't have kills.
Yeah. Or assist for that matter.
Or assist. Doesn't have kill participation.
Yeah. No, bottom.
Anyway,
There we go.
charge.
Monkey King jumping in. You've got a charge coming in from behind as well. The lift needs to be perfect. And oh, he lifts the wrong target. Either way, the Monkey King did have the boundless strike available, so that might have actually been the right target. Yeah, especially since the nether strike wasn't used under cover of that Moonlight Shadow. But look at this smoke. He's been Vincent trapped here. No detection, however, and no arrow available either. So far, a fairly even game with the Viper taking most of the money on the side of the Dire. EXP and the net worth graphs almost at the break-even point with just about 1,000 gold lead going in favor of White Shadows. Focused. He's gonna find that Invis rune, and it looks like he's skipping the Veil altogether now and going for the Dual Scepter as his first item of choice. Unless... yeah, he's skipping the Veil.
I mean, it's actually the kind of game where if you want to make a defensive item on the co-op, I guess you go all out BKB.
I don't know if a first item BKB is
Not
the best
not
choice.
a first item, but I mean, I wouldn't mind the Veil actually. It's good for the Sand King, it's good for the Disruptor, armor, nice in general, reasonable build up, and then you take stock of the mid game and probably see where you want to go from there. The Yules, it's going to be a nuisance to the Legion Commander. And yeah, that's about it.
Focus is coming towards the bottom lane though, and they have the Monkey King sitting atop, and they're going to start off with the Wukong's command. Here we go. Boundless Tech was already dropped down, so it's not going to be a very big one coming out. 4 stacks of Jingu Mastery. Looks like Press the Attack doesn't quite work versus it. And up on the treetops he goes, as Queen of Pain will find flank, but he's going to miss on the Sonic Wave, as Viper and Rubik are now entering the fray as well. They might have to give up this kill on the Legion Commander after all, as we do see Focus trying to make a break for it, while elsewhere, Pulse has brought down Honolulu on the top side. I saw a Boundless Strike being fired off, and he got the kill on the Rubik. And he's back up on the trees.
So the Monkey King was on the trees. They popped a smoke. Ramses broke the smoke immediately, jumped further north, connected with the Boundless Strike on the Rubik, and now he's just doing classic monkey things while the rest of his team is taking down a tier 1 on the other side of the map.
Yeah, they also got the kill on the Mirana. I believe that was on the top side of the map somewhere, with Pulse claiming the money for that one. So that's with the Nether Strike expended. Smoke still got the Epicenter available, so they could still lock down a target and bring him down to the Epicenter if they're looking for one of those quick pick-offs. But this is coming back full circle to the fact that Monkey King, there's no real way to watch the Monkey King atop the trees except for the arrow. And without the Mirana in the vicinity, Monkey can just stand right next to them on the treetops, waiting for his allies to get in position first.
What has Ramses gone for in terms of items on the Monkey King?
It's the Echo Saber as his first item choice.
Okay.
But, big ticket items being picked up here by the LC as well. So that's a 14-minute blink tagger that's now online. In addition to the power treads, Ramses is going to be able to scout this out for now though. Me versus me. He's got no way to break through trees. So I don't see what the real value add is for him to walk around here. Unless he's expecting the LC to jump in and use the Iron Talon.
Smoke has a blink of his own.
Arrow.
On the Sand King. This time the
it
arrow's
found
there.
him.
It connects on the Monkey King. That's going to delay his Echo Saber. And that's only going to be more dual damage going into the pockets of the Legion Commander. A possible tier 2 here for White Shadows. Me versus me only adds to his tally of kills, while Buriza trying to force the mid tier 1 while they're losing a tier 2 on the bottom lane. Not sure if this is the best trade.
Oh, they've even seen Smoke.
Okay.
So you have the Earthshaker coming in. He has the Echo Slam, but Smoke's immediately going to Burrow Strike and get on out of there. An offensive ward has been placed out as well. So they're not going to be able to defend this tower. They'll just have to be content with trading for the tier 1 at mid. But we're seeing a movement here from the Rubik. He's actually moving back towards the middle lane to try and slow this down.
Yeah.
Especially since the co-op's low on mana and they've spotted this, they can get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, they've taken a tier 2 and that's okay. Quick glimpse. Somebody just got glimpsed back to the bottom lane. But yeah, that's the problem with the Radiant lineup. They sort of suck at taking towers. The co-op really struggles to take a tower.
Gonna find Pulse. It's not a dual kill, but it's a kill nonetheless.
What was that term you used? Garden gaming.
Yeah, this was just... I wouldn't call this garden gaming, actually.
I mean, it is his own jungle, but you're given up a tier 2. You never visited your own jungle in a bit. That area is out of bounds right now.
It's poor map awareness. You gotta give these players credit though. They've been playing all day and they've been looking about for... I mean, they've been waiting about for a long time as well, so it kind of does get to you. So you do tend to make some silly mistakes, but this is when they've got to pull it together, man, because the stakes are huge.
Viper's casually farming the Radiant jungle. What has the Viper got in
He's
terms
got
of
his
items?
Dragon
Okay,
Knight.
smoke goes in with the Power Strike. This is going to be an easy arrow, but that's easier. Static stop. They're focusing down the Viper. The Boundless Strike to hold off the Mirana. They're taking away the streak of the Viper and they're chasing for more. Smoke does have a Blink Dagger. He could look to catch someone. He blinks, catches the Mirana, but Earthshaker with the Echo Slam, the Enchant Totem, and the Fisher isn't going to get anything in return as he ends up going down to the Monkey King, while the Queen of Pain manages to bring down the Mirana with the Sonic Wave, and Pulse jumps into the action and gets a kill on the Rubik.
It would have been beautiful if that was the Sonic Wave from an allied Queen of Pain for that Earthshaker.
For a moment I thought that was highlight reel worthy, but then exactly, it's not an allied Queen of Pain.
Well, up top, Smoke's in a bit of a pickle himself because Blank has that Blink Dagger. Well, Smoke's got a dagger as well. So
Smoke's
I
got a
don't think
dagger, he's got Tranquil Boots, he's just chilling. "17 minutes in, 17-14 is the score. Only a 1k net worth deficit between both these sides. I really don't think anybody's coming out on top just yet. It's just going to boil down to who really plays any careless Dota, gets out of position. Blank though, this time he's been caught out of position. The charge is there, the bash as well, the epicenter thrown in for good measure. If I'm not mistaken, they do have detection for the Legion. Commando turns around with the overwhelming odds, almost brings down a hero in return, but Smoke with the Sandstorm manages to stay alive and gets the kill.
Maybe if you use the duel there, you would have actually got the kill. Because then there wouldn't have been a Sandstorm coming out and...
maybe moment of courage rocked. I don't know.
You never know.
But yeah, what I'd really like to see White Shadows do more is just group up around the Viper a little bit. You got a pesky nuisance who's well farmed. You'd ideally hope to play around him. It's that simple.
They're going for the pick off on the Mirana and they're going to start with the charge. The Burrow Strike is there actually to bring this fight to commence at least. But Honolulu hit with the bash as he gets glimpsed behind. And Ramses for good measure will stack up those Jingu Masteries as well before moving onwards towards the next potential target. But meanwhile, White Shadows has a different plan here. They're going to continue to push out this bottom lane and farm, but the Barathroom, the Spirit Breaker, is on his way already. The charge has been committed, and Viper, while he's trying to make a retreat here, he may not be so successful. High five to the Rubik, and then a smack in the face of the Viper with the Queen of Pain in the vicinity. It looks like they want to fight this. Pulse immediately just going to TP out of there, but then cancels it as well, recognizing that they've outnumbered their opponents. And honestly, I don't even know what the Viper and the Rubik were doing here by themselves. There's no tier 2 tower to take anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the Viper's farmed, but there's only a limit to which you can push your farm here. And he was horribly out of position, not accomplishing anything, farming near the enemy base, for God's sake, at 19 minutes. What did he expect with no one to back him up? He was definitely meant to die at that point. And Blank, he's looking to make a play. It's him and the Earthshaker under cover of smoke.
And both of them have their Blink Daggers. You could see the Blink Echo coming into play in the next couple of fights. But one of Ramses is going to get caught out here.
I don't think that what's spotting him out.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, but they do spot the Queen of Pain. Immediate duel coming out here, but is it enough? Arrow's going to clip as well, so they should get this kill. It won't be a dual kill, but it's a kill nonetheless. Ramses is coming in now. The Moonlight Shadow's been popped. They need one more hit on the Earthshaker, but the Earthshaker turns and makes a run for himself. He's still alive for now. The bash casually connecting on the Earthshaker right next to him. But the Earthshaker's there to cancel out the Nether Strike with the Enchant Totem, but never mind. Here comes the Monkey King. He's gone and he needs to start stacking the Jingu Masteries once again. He gets the kill but doesn't get the stack, so his lifesteal's not kicking in. While he's on a killing spree, he's now trying to make a retreat, and indeed he will get on out of there.
So they lose the Earthshaker, but they get the Queen of Pain.
As well as the Spirit Breaker.
As well as the Spirit Breaker. And Viper just used the 10-second BKB. Not too bad for Buriza, considering that Smoke wasn't around in that fight. And
he's looking like he wants the epicenter here.
Rubik has Butter Strike.
Yeah, that's a pretty crucial spell to have, actually.
Yeah.
Sort of more. I mean, sure, it's a stun and all, but it's also some sort of a mobility spell for the Rubik. How's the Mirana looking? She's got that Yasha finished up. In addition to that, she's got that Ring of Health. So it's going to be a Lincoln Sphere coming out for her. At the same time, the LC's got his Blade Mail online and is looking for an Aghanim Scepter.
Okay. Doesn't want to be disturbed in the duel.
Yeah.
By sources of magical damage.
Any damage, actually. Any sources of damage outside of the dueling targets no longer applies.
No, it's magical damage. Nether Strike applies, if I'm not mistaken. I want to see this. I want to see it in action. I mean, this is one crazy item. I really don't know how it works. I could be wrong. But Blank, I don't think he's going to get it anytime soon. He's been chased down. The Boundless Strike is there as well. Yes, the epicenter. It's on to 2. It's a killing spree for Smoke with the Static Storm on top. They get the Mirana as well as the Legion Commander. 2 quick kills for Buriza.
But
while me versus me is just farming.
This
goes back to this lane. What?
So this is a really odd thing to do. Your backpack cooldown is halved. I mean, your cooldown is extended when it's in your backpack.
Right.
On all items. He's left it in there instead of just swapping with the salve. TPs on cooldown is the most criminal thing you can actually do.
Criminal.
Yeah, okay. He's gonna swap it up now. I think he was just a little careless there.
Okay. But beautiful stuff coming out from Buriza, using the epicenter along with the Static Storm. And now it's White Shadow's turn to smoke and look for a pick-off. It's going to be a while before the Legion Commander respawns, so they don't have any easy blink initiation. Me versus me, he's just hanging by the Radiant Shrine, all by himself. No one to back him up. The Legion moving towards this direction. And am I the only one? Okay.
Quite a wasted smoke coming out there from them.
It's an unusual smoke. Rubik and Earthshaker popping a smoke. That too didn't really result in too much. It's not like they got any wards down. But they're going to pop the Moonlight Shadow and just move into the Rosh pit.
Oh, they should have seen the arrow though. Yeah, they definitely saw the arrow flying.
Started.
Got to see this Observer word. So
okay.
There we go. You can see a lot of caution pings coming out. This is a slightly slow movement coming out from Buriza.
Yeah, it might be.
They may not. Yeah, they're not going to make it.
They're not going to make it. Are they going to contest this? That is the question. Well, if they do end up losing this fight, oh, hold on. Focus has gone in. The Scream of Pain, excuse me, does manage to connect on one. Viper pops his BKB pulse. Trying to push Viper back into Static Storm, but look at that, the Boundless Strike, enough to bring down the Rubik. The Legion falls as well. Viper stands strong with his BKB, but Focus is just manning up at this point. He pops his ult, buys himself some time, just enough for Pulse to charge in. Elsewhere, Ramses with that Echo Saber manages to bring down the Earthshaker. Smoke with the immediate Butter Strike. That was Roshan, but it really didn't amount to much. All they lost was the Disruptor. And they pretty much cleaned up house there on the side of Buriza. Beautiful stuff coming out from them.
Yeah, that wasn't a very smart fight coming out from White Shadows. I feel like they could have done a much better job in that engagement. But, I mean, when you've got a team like Buriza that just comes running at you and protects their Monkey King while he goes nuts over the battlefield, it gets really difficult. This is an all-out DPS build coming out from him. He's picked up the Desolator as well as the Echo Saber here. You leave him to his own devices and he will rip you to shreds.
Yeah, I think he bought down the Earthshaker in 3 hits. I mean, that's what I saw. Anyways, I want to call this a Smoker Desperation. I mean, sure, they have the big ultimates, but once again, it's 3 heroes popping a smoke. I hope they find a pick-off that makes some sense here. They're moving into the Radiant Jungle. The smoke dispels Blank, blinks one way, but doesn't really end up catching smoke. So Smokes pretty much dispel the smoke all by himself. And just going to chill and back off. The Dire Observer, I mean, that's really strange. Hold on, they had an Observer ward there. They somewhat knew as to where Smoke was.
Yeah, it's a little awkward that they chose not to commit there, but maybe there's something that we're missing here. Either way, Blade Mail is online and he's going for the BKB next. So he's gotten rid of the idea of that Aghanim Scepter on the LC and is going for the BKB instead. Well, Mirana, on the other hand, she continues to make progress towards that Lincoln Sphere. We pointed out the 10-second BKB on the Viper, definitely a good choice versus the Sand King as well as the Disruptor. Not such a great choice versus the Spirit Breaker for that matter. Why are they just 5-manning this? I don't get why the Radiant want to just 5-man and fight this. They've got the Quap that can go and split push.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to 5-man into a Viper, right? And especially when you know that there's a blink that the Earthshaker has just been itching to use for a long time. They have a gem on their side, no gems either, so the Invis could catch them off guard.
Yeah.
Well, Smoke's got a Yules of his own now. That's going to give him some more control versus the Viper, not to mention the LC as well. Looking forward to seeing what Buriza has in store for us next. I mean, they did put on quite a performance at the Rosh Pit the last time around, but if they let up on the gas for a while, it's going to come back to what we talked about, that the Monkey King base lineups do start to fall off. At this point, he's sitting with a lot of net worth upon his head. A death on him could mean a major goal swing in favor of the cores of White Shadows here.
Yeah, but one thing that I'm still struggling to see Buriza do is go high ground. I mean, the only way they do end up going high ground is somehow...
I don't see it either, man. And maybe the Quap's gonna have to get like a Deso. Actually, they have the Deso on the Monkey King.
Right.
But you can't go high ground unless you actually take out the cores on the side of White Shadows. You need to make sure that the Viper is not around on the front lines, hoping that, you know, an Echo Slam can be set up on the back of his dead body.
Okay,
but
so, I mean, in my angst to find out what Duel does with Accept, it basically makes you spell immune. And you only take damage from each other. Anyway, the Earthshaker, he's been caught out with the Butter Strike, the Fisher. I think he sensed that the Monkey King was there, and an immediate defense in Moonlight Shadow, yeah.
I think that was the reason why they chose not to commit. The only source of detection is still on Pulse. And if he's not in the vicinity, things get really hard.
But this is some pretty decent positioning coming out from Buriza. I was just going to say that, but look at that. You've got a ward coming out from the side of White Shadows, so they pretty much know that Smoke and Helma are in the vicinity. They have a sense that the Monkey King is somewhere on the treetops. And the question is, do White Shadows choose to take this fight? And if they do, what's the best way they could get it started?
I thought I saw an arrow flying.
I did. It narrowly missed the Monkey King.
Honolulu still really far away from that Lincoln Sphere. We've seen him struggle for a while now because farm priority has still been given over to the Viper, who chose to go for the Maelstrom. So he's looking to fight faster. He's looking to farm faster and do some magic damage in team fights as well. Can't really argue with this item choice. Viper's not one of those heroes that can flash farm. The Maelstrom kind of helps him do that. Well, it is going to be a tier 1 tower that goes down at the bottom. No contest coming out from White Shadows whatsoever. So Buriza will take a freebie. Or will they? Because the tower's been left on deniable HP and Earthshaker will gladly do the honors here. Meanwhile, the duel's going to be thrown out on focus. That should be a dual kill going in favor of the LC once again. But here comes the cavalry. Smoke along with Ramsey. They've got the Jingle stacks up and running. It's 4 stacks now as the Boundless strike. While it may not work on it, the auto attack sure will. As for the Boundless, it's been reserved for the LC and the LC will take a beating. Goes down to Ramses. He's on a monster kill streak and almost has his own BKB. Now they see the Earthshaker, but the Earthshaker's got a Blink Dagger.
It's been a rough game for the Mirana. I mean, her most impactful moments in these games.
Ouch! That just looked absolutely
And Smoke's gone in with the Butter Strike. Charge coming out from Pulse. This could be an easy kill. The Fisher holds up the Monkey King, but Pulse gets the kill either way. As Rubik did manage to steal the Butter Strike and gets the hell out of that. Look at that damage. It's a double kill for Pulse, but it's Monkey King doing the heavy lifting in terms of physical DPS. And I said they couldn't be able to siege, but they're sieging mighty fine right now. A tier 2 taken down from them.
4 down. Mirana's the only one with a buyback. They've got a good 20 seconds without the Earthshaker. And with the Desolator and an Echo Saber, they can definitely do some serious damage on this tier 3, if not take it apart. The Quap is going to respawn soon, but unfortunately there's no tier 1 tower that you can TP to. He's TP'd us up to the Shrine. And it looks like that's the cue for Ramses and his boys to bail.
And that's Monkey King with a completed BKB as well. So, I mean, you're primarily looking at the Legion Commander and the Viper as the main sources of control and damage versus the Monkey King.
What does White Shadows really do at this point? They're struggling so hard to take successful team fights. We're yet to see those big echo slams being unloaded in the midst of the battle.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon.
It's going to be a while before we see one of those big echo slams.
There we go. Charge onto me versus me. Oh, never mind. Actually, charge
They
someone else.
actually managed to catch out the Earthshaker, and honestly, the most impactful thing this Mirana has done is hit Moonlight Shadow. Honestly, I haven't seen an arrow hit. A farm, not really too great or impactful. I mean, look at her in terms of net worth. The Sand King is ahead of her in terms of net worth. This is it's a rough game for the Mirana.
Buriza.
Do you agree with her item choices? Do you think Lickets is...
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But on one hand, yes, she does need it to survive.
Right.
But on the... Yeah, I guess actually, yeah, I guess the Lincoln's is fine.
Right. I mean, it's... Has she got... Oh my god, it's 32 minutes.
She's also gone for the agility talent,
Yeah.
so it's going to be a raw physical DPS build coming out from her. Anyway, Viper's the one that's really the cause for concern on the side of Buriza, because he's a really tough nut to crack. I don't think you're going to bring him down in just one stun. You can't stun lock and expect him to die just yet. Oh,
Hell,
no!
a sitting duck. This could be an easy duel. In fact, the duel's gone further not. I'm not really sure who they caught. They caught out the Sand King. So a huge source of lockdown and control for Buriza has been taken away. And Helm immediately drops the Glimmer Cape on himself and just TPs the hell out of there.
Good stuff coming out from Buriza, though. They just cut their losses and bailed the moment they knew that one of their heroes was taken apart and that the Sand King's position was compromised. Most teams would consider taking the fight regardless of how it started over there, but Buriza made the right call. Come back to fight another day.
Yeah, I mean, the Sand King plays a huge role in the team fight. I mean, those multiple hero borrow strikes, in the span of one team fight are doing a lot for Buriza right now, especially versus the Viper. And yeah, that was a good call coming up from Buriza. They didn't have the Sand King.
The issue here is that what you call him? The Sand King dying there essentially opens up a decent amount of space here for White Shadows to go hunting once again. And the Mirana, or rather the LC ends up getting a dual kill over there as well. So more bonus damage being added. These are heroes that scale well into the late game stage. Giving LC those dual victories is going to make her stronger as time progresses. And at the same time, Viper is getting to the point where his next big item should be complete soon enough. I'd probably expect him to go for the entire Mjolnir here. But I would like to see him complete the Hurricane Pike first. That extra mobility wouldn't be half bad.
I'd like to see an AC.
Yeah, AC wouldn't be terrible
I
either.
mean, what's really causing problems for him, I mean, the main source of damage for the side of Buriza versus the Viper is the Monkey King. I'm not sure the AC is going to be enough, but it's going to be something with all that physical damage coming up from the Monkey King. The Pike is also going to be nice versus the Monkey King. You could also use it to push the Monkey King out of his own circle of the Wukong's command, thereby putting an end to that, which could buy your team a little bit of time in team fights.
So 34 minutes in, we still do not have a clear winner in this game. Both teams fighting on for dear life here. No tier 3s have fallen just yet. High ground is yet to be breached, and the next Roshan has respawned. The last time around, we did see Team Buriza taking that Roshan team fight successfully, although not getting the Aegis in their pockets. Let's see if the second time around will be a different story. But for now, it is Buriza
Jumps
going
in
up into the
aggressively,
high
he's
ground.
walked into the Legion Commander. The Fisher was there right when it was needed, and there's the Echo Slam. Not great, not impactful, not enough, though actually just enough to bring down the Sand King. But Ramses just goes ham on the Viper, chasing him right back to his own base. Had they got detection though for the Viper? Pulse coming through. Rubik lifts up the Monkey King. The Jingu stacks have worn off, but Pulse gets the kill on the Viper. Ramses chasing for more, brings down the Rubik with one quick hit and jumps off the treetops. Wants the Mirana, doesn't have the Boundless Strike, but has the damage. It's a full team vibe coming out from Buriza, and all they lose is the Sand King. This is possibly a tier 3 tower for them at the very least.
I think the smarter choice is to take the tier 2 and then take Roshan. it was a successful team fight, no doubt coming out from them, but it was also a dual victory going over to the LC again. So LC is going to be a bit stronger for the next battle once more. The problem is no one's controlling this Monkey King, and he's about to have an Assault Cuirass finished up. The armor reduction is definitely going to add value versus these during these high ground pushes. And this time around, it looks like they're going for the Jugular. The tier 3, it's going to fall regardless of the fortification. They're all still dead, and the Viper might just have to buy back, shaving some of the time off of those 30 seconds of this respawn clock. Indeed, this is going to be a lane of barracks, and they're possibly going to move back towards the shrines here. Just play it safe. Buriza have 1 foot through the door towards the grand finals.
Yeah, no Echo Slam to work with, so they're missing their key team fight spell for now. What you'd ideally be hoping for if you were White Shadows is probably get some vision around Roshan, because that's going to be an important point of contest. This is, after all, Roshan number 2, so he's got Aegis and a little bit of cheese as well. You'd also hope to find a pick-off and buy some time and just keep the waves pushed out. Pick-off after pick-off. I'm really not sure if Legion's going to be an answer to the Monkey King, but right now, that's the only thing that could possibly work for White Shadows. No one's controlling him. He's got a BKB. You have to duel him. You have to duel Blade Mail and hope that somehow Legion wins.
Yeah, that's not going to happen though. I mean, Ramses is still going to come out on top in those duels, especially now that he's got that freaking AC picked up.
Okay. Then you Viper strike him and run away.
That's actually the right move at this point. But the problem is you can't see him on the treetops. It's such a good game to be a Monkey King, but Monkey, again, I think that's a hero that's on a clock here.
What do you say? Moved into Roshan. No wards coming out from the dial. Just running around. Got that Tinker ward on the east, on the bottom lane. Not sure what that's meant to accomplish. I guess it was a reactionary ward to that arrow that came out.
Or the monkey, man. I think it's
or the monkey. I mean, it was when Buriza were pushing down that lane. And they managed to find the Sand King, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
Oh, they almost got the Earthshaker there in that fight. And if the Earthshaker ends up going down again, that's basically it, man. We're yet to see an Echo Slam coming out from the dude. He's been holding on to it for a fairly long time. The last time he used it, it wasn't very impactful. They've also got BKBs finished up on the side of the Radiant, or rather 1 BKB on the Monkey King for now. They're looking towards the Viper. Viper's got his TP available and should be able to make a break for it. While on the bottom side, Smoke, he's actually gone in, but that was a trap. They've got the duel to start the fight off on, and they've even stolen a Burrow Strike if they need it for good measure. That's a fairly long duel coming out. In fact, Smoke doesn't even die. The charge comes out now, along with the Sonic Wave. They're looking for the first kill on Honolulu, but he's gone deep inside. The second TP is being attempted here, but first it's the Rubik that's going to die, and then it's going to be Blank that follows him to the grave, while Smoke even survives through all of it. Team Buriza finds themselves 2 very cheeky kills and walks away without a single casualty.
3 heroes commit for a Sand King. They use the duel on the Legion Commander who has 76 dual victory damage. They fail to bring down Sand King and they end up losing 2. Rubik stole the Burrow Strike but waited patiently with it. I was wondering if he was going to use it or what the plan was, but anyway, it doesn't matter. The tier 3 tower under siege. Rubik does have buyback. Legion Commander out for 34 seconds. White Shadows on the verge of elimination, if I'm not mistaken. Even a Heaven's Halberd at this point to keep the Viper occupied, while Focus takes down the ranged barracks in the mid lane. Monkey King on the treetops, nothing to deal with him. Jumps off, moves towards the Mirana. There's the Echo Slam. It takes away the Sand King, but an immediate Wukong's command along with the Static Storm ensures the death of the Earthshaker, of the Rubik. And an immediate buyback from the Earthshaker. Monkey King, this time he's moved on to the bigger target. Viper, controlled, bashed, bought down. The Fisher's there onto 3, but no real damage. The Boundless Strike just cuts that Mirana into 2. It's an ultra kill for Ramses, and White Shadows have tapped out.
Oh, they gave him the Rampage before they tapped out. Well played indeed. Fantastic stuff coming out from Team Buriza. It's been an amazing run from White Shadows as well, so I gotta say props to them too. There were a bit of the hiccups in the first game of this tournament for them, but you know, the rematch does prove to be in Buriza's favor.
Yeah.
Do you think White Shadows could have done anything different here in this case?
I think itemized differently in the Viper. I mean,
you think so?
I think so. Plus, the Mirana, was that really the pick they needed?
Even if it was the pick they needed, I think they should have been a bit more proactive with her rather than just using the Moonlight Shadow to try and break.
Right.
Use the arrow, use the Mirana's rotations to try and score kills
early on. Blank has his bling Arrow Star Storm, cheap, effective damage. Just use it, secure kills.
I mean, there's no point in just saying, okay, the draft was, they got out-drafted or whatever. But I do feel like they were missing a key element, which is an ability to look at, to basically look at what the Monkey King is doing atop the trees. There was nothing available at this point. There was nothing available at any point in the game apart from the arrow. The one arrow that they got in the bottom lane translated into a kill for them. But other than that, they were just clutching at straws and flying in blind to every single fight. I love the way that Buriza has managed to come together as a team finally.
Yeah.
They didn't show a very strong performance versus Aggressive 5, but this was a whole different Buriza that we saw. And I, for one, cannot wait to see what they're going to bring to the main event day after. But,
I mean, a lot of Buriza is Pulse, in my opinion.
You think so?
I think so. Pulse has a huge contribution to the side. He was at the right place at the right time, and as someone's T-shirt said, he had 100% chance to 17%. He was always getting those bashes off. His charges were crucial. The usage of Nether Strike was spot on. I mean, Pulse is a good 4.
Would you say Pulse was the MVP of this game?
Nah, I mean, you want to give it to Ramses, but in a way, it's Pulse as well.
I think it was Pulse. For me, it was Pulse. The early rotations were on point. He managed to help set up some early kills.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ramses would have gotten as good of a game unless Pulse actually created as much space. So, yeah, I think Pulse would be the MVP of this game for me. Huge props to Focus, that is Clown K as well. A Viper, laning as a Quap versus a Viper is not easy at all. And even though they did suffer a couple of casualties in the early stages of the game, she's pulled out quite fine for the most part and has helped in turning team fights around. That's another thing that they had going for them, right? Both the Quap and the Monkey King are heroes that can be explosive in team fights if you don't control them and deal with them early on.
I think I like the Sand King pick. It seems to work for them more as an offlaner than the Bat Rider. Not taking anything away from Smoke, that Aegis Steel versus Aggressive 5 was one of the most spectacular Aegis Steals I've ever seen in Indian Dota. We don't see too many of those. I mean, if a highlight reel gets made of this tournament, that play deserves to be there. But I generally felt he had a lot more impact in team fights on the Sand King. Rough game for the Earthshaker. Didn't see too much out of him.
The one Echo Slam we saw with the two heroes.
I mean, we saw 2 or 3, but I mean, yeah. But that was the most impactful one.
There was just no backup at that point. And it was a level 1 Echo Slam with no creeps around. So that really didn't work in his favor. Maybe, yeah, you know what? I think the Mirana pick could have been a little different. Or actually, I think the Monkey King ban was a necessity in this game. Especially when you pick up your 2 supports early on and show that you don't have a way to look up on treetops. There was a lot of those team fights were also won because the Monkey King was starting the fights in a position of advantage. He had the high ground quite literally atop the trees there.
Yeah.
I
mean, Indian teams have this issue. The weaker Indian teams have this issue. There are 4 heroes in this patch. And pretty much any 4 of these heroes come up and they're like, what do we do? We see Viper, what do we do? We see Monkey King, what do we do? We see Necrophos, what do we do? I mean, people are not even picking Terrorblade at this point versus Indian teams. IQ did once and they thrashed Entity.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Terrorblade pick in a long time now that you mention it.
So there are a lot of scary heroes in this game and we're still struggling for solutions.
Actually a lot of pocket picks that could come out in that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Terrorblade. Arc Warden is still a nuisance in my opinion.
We're yet to see the Shadow Fiend coming out either. It's been a while since the Shadow Fiend has made an appearance in the middle lane.
I mean, if I did it with Negi when Negi was mid, but yeah.
But not in this tournament at least.
Not in this tournament.
This tournament has just been Queen of Pain for the most part. Queen of Pain, Phantom Lancer, and Monkey King at the middle lane.
Queen of Pain is a very knee-jerk pickup. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Queen of Pain, but like it's a safety pick. We don't know what to pick in the mid lane. Just pick up the Queen of Pain.
Because she's one of those heroes that can sort of lane versus any and every hero that comes up against her. You may not be completely dominating the middle lane, but you could always have you could still just farm and eventually use that TP scroll to go and make something happen. That's the beauty of a hero like the Quap, right? She's got...
lazy.
Yeah, she's lazy. All right, folks, this is where we're going to wrap it up. It's been an absolute pleasure broadcasting for you. I'm CloudX. With me was Vivek. If you guys have enjoyed, do tune in for the main event. That's going to be happening a day after. We'll see you next time.
Manoj? Hey guys, so Mandela and we are the final captain team. Buriza going up against White Shadows. And you guys just had a phenomenal performance over there, taking that game by storm. So tell me about your games today and how was the last game for you all?
Last game was good. In early game, we lost something, but then we regained, we grouped, and we won the game.
Wow. So you had a very interesting experience through this whole tournament. You played today, you'll be playing in the finale. Is there a certain team that you're worried about?
We are not actually worried about, and now we know who we are going to face in the finals. That's Aggressive 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are prepared for that.
All right. Do you have a strategy you have in mind that you
Yeah,
have
we have something planned.
Okay.
We can't disclose it.
Yes, of course you can't. But you all are very confident about this matchup because when I spoke to Pasol in the morning, he was like, oh, we're going to take it all the way. And I was like, are you sure now?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. So do you think it'll be a really tough competition for them? We all have pocket strats ready to get going into that finale of yours?
Yes, we are also confident. But they had a good performance. They also beat us today. But we will come back in the finals.
Yeah, it's always good to be beaten first because then you know all the strategies and then you
Yes.
can use them against them. What would it be like for you all to win Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it will be huge. Actually, this year we haven't won any major tournaments. This will be the first tournament that we will be winning. And we have many tournaments coming ahead. And
Yeah.
so it will be a huge boost to the whole team and
Okay.
our organizers.
Yeah.
So it will be cool also.
All right, and so Gaurav, I need to ask you this since you're the captain of the team. If you do win, you come on the Mountain Dew bottle and you're going to be there on lots of Mountain Dew bottles. Is that going to be pride or is that going to be like, oh my God, I want every bottle of Mountain
It will
Dew?
be both actually. But yeah, my friends and family will be proud,
Yeah.
definitely. And I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
Okay.
And actually, I told my brother that if I win this, I will be there. So he's also excited and I'm hoping to win.
Wow, so congratulations on your today's games. You faced only one loss, that is pretty good.
Yes.
And you're going to be going against them in the finale. That happens on the 1st of October at Gurgaon. So we'll be seeing you all really shortly. Thank you so much for joining me for this interview. And take care.
Thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Nishant, what a game it has been because of the fact that the start was pretty amazing. It was a pretty intense matchup as well. But going on to the late game, Swifty, you actually had a few points to mention as well. What do you think went wrong for the other team?
Well, for starters, the Viper pick, I would say that hero excels in laning phase. There's no doubt about it. But also he got help from roaming Earthshaker from level 1, for level 1, in where they killed the QOP. QOP had taken the first kill. So Viper is a hero which dominates the lane on his own, but still he got boost from his position 4, and I think Viper did his part for the early phase. He dominated QOP really well.
Nishant, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, Viper did get the upper hand in the start game, but eventually Viper falls off. That's just how Viper works as a hero, right? You dominate the early stages of the game. If you don't continue snowballing with that momentum, you kind of start to fall off. Post which it was basically the Monkey King and Pulse's Spirit Breaker show.
I think Pulse was really good on his position for Spirit Breaker. 17% was literally 100% for himself. I think he just bashed everyone here and there.
He's been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Not so much the bashes,
he was
but
on the right time on the right points.
Absolutely.
He was making those rotations really good.
It's kind of like Vivek and I were discussing on the casting desk as well. You have Pulse running around the map, creating space all over the place, but it's the Monkey King that's making the most of it. He's got so much space that he can dominate in those one-on-one situations when a hero goes around to try and defend versus the Spirit Breaker. Good Dota coming out from Buriza across the board. I mean, I feel like they just outclassed their opponents in almost every step of the way. There was one crucial Roshan fight in the middle. That's basically where they turned the tide of battle really in their favor.
I think Team Buriza had a lot of good ultimates for the Roshan fight. They had Monkey King, they had lots of ultimates, like they had Disruptor, they had Sand King, they had so much control for the Roshan fight, and that Roshan fight made a huge impact on them.
Well, that's pretty interesting to say. And other than that, talking about the rotations in specific, do you think it was the other team went wrong somewhere? Because he mentioned the rotations, they were on point and they were actually really well timed as well. So leaving that aside, just talking about the rotations, what do you think about that?
Yeah, again, I think it's just the Pulse show. Pulse and his rotations have been completely stellar this entire game. It did seem like a bit of a team effort, but it also felt like it was just Pulse and the Monkey King that were really making most of the plays in this game. I'd like to see more synergy coming out from them. I'd like to see more coordinated team plays coming out because they're moving on to the finals now, right? And they're going to be facing off versus Aggressive 5. Aggressive 5 is a team that's going to punish a team that tries to rely on individual skill. We've talked about how fluid the mechanics have been and how fluidly Aggressive 5 plays as a unit. That Buriza is going to have to step up the game. And if anything, tomorrow is their day to study their opponents.
Actually, yeah, technically it's tomorrow now. Technically it's tomorrow. We've all been...
It's today now, technically.
No, it's not today. We actually have a day off. We have a day off, remember?
Well, our day off has begun.
Technically, we're still shooting, so but leaving. Talking about the entire day, though, talking about the entire journey for Arena, because we have some time to analyze and just have a normal chat. What do you think about the format, and what do you think about the matches that actually went out? Because usually, what happens in the playoffs is the fact that it sort of becomes a knockout stage, but this time around we have had teams having multiple chances to prove themselves. So, do you like this format better, or the other format was better for you?
I think this format is much better because teams have this confidence that even if we drop one game to a stronger team, we have a chance to come back. And they can even save stats because since it's not an elimination knockout tournament, so they can be boosted up.
I believe, I agree with you. The saving stats aside, of course, I don't think anyone has the guts to do that in Indian Dota at least. I definitely think it's a little more relaxed. You can always have maybe not save your stats entirely, but you can always try different variations and different combinations. The right way to approach a tournament like this is to research every single one of your teams as in-depth as you possibly can. For example, when you're playing against a team like Buriza, you've got to know that you need to focus on Ramses and his Monkey King. You need to focus on Clown Key and his Tinker or his Templar Assassin and play around those things. When you're playing versus Aggressive 5, you've got to watch their map movements. You've got to watch their rotations. You've got to make sure that you're stopping them when they're trying to hit their stride in the early stages of the game. Similarly, with the other teams as well, we know that Optic Misgaming was the unknown element in this entire tournament. Unfortunately for them, they didn't quite perform as per our hopes and expectations. But that's also the beauty of coming to a land like the DU Arena. You walk in, for lack of a way to sugarcoat it, you get beaten black and blue. But you walk away learning something new, and the mark of a good team is one that comes back stronger after taking a beating like that. And I do hope that teams like Optic Misgaming and White Shadows do come back stronger after this.
All right, well, we all do hope. And before we actually sign off, Swifty, do you have any closing words?
I think, as we saw the whole day, Team Aggressive 5 had done whitewash, I would say. They haven't dropped a single game. So it will be tough for our final opponents, Team Buriza, to match up to their level, their requirements, their map presence and everything. So I think Team Buriza needs to do their homework tomorrow since it's a day off.
All right, let's actually talk about finals for a bit because it just struck me. Aggressive 5 being such an experienced lineup, having played on LAN, and again, we put in the crowd factor as well. Do you think how big of a factor is that going to be?
Oh yeah, I mean Aggressive 5 has been on LAN. I remember a couple of tournaments ago, there was this little joke flying around that Paddling gets LAN nerves. Paddling ain't afraid anymore. Paddling's been to LANs. He's seen a bit of the country now, and I think he's kind of gotten into this groove along with the rest of his teammates. All the rest of his teammates have been on LAN in the past as well. They're players with a fair bit of experience under their belt. They're being led by Omkar Pasol. He's played countless LANs up until now with multiple teams. So.
Omkar has been on the circuit for about 4 to 5 years. He's one of the most experienced players, I would say, as a drafter and as a captain. So I think he will let his team not get into pressure, and he'll try to make them light and stuff. That thing matters. That thing
immensely.
Matters.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I agree with you. There's also the fact that Buriza has not really played on a LAN of this scale. Tell us what it was like as your first time going on a main stage.
Well, for me, of course, I was in lots of pressure. I was thinking about every mistake I was gonna make. I should not do this, I should not do that. But slowly and eventually, if you start going off to the LANs, then after 1 or 2, I think you will start recovering for yourself.
I think
you will get that confidence and motivation.
And that's pretty much what happened to Swifty in the morning as well. We were actually having a discussion between the games, and it's always anything that you try for the first time, it sort of brings in that nervousness as well. But after a while, it sort of just gets rubbed off.
You get into the groove.
You get in the groove, and you get used to it as well.
Yeah.
So Swifty, again, I don't know if you're going to be on the greener pasture of things, being on the talent side the entire time. But from what I've heard, and you've been mentioning as well, that you are actually planning to go back to playing. So what are your future plans, if I may ask?
Oh, well, I would not like to reveal my roster because, yes, I have been planning to play again. I've almost formed a team, and I think we'll do our debut in Taiwan Excellence.
Oh,
Like,
that's going to be interesting
yeah.
because we're all going to be there again. And
Yeah.
for a change, I won't be at the desk. I'll actually be casting over there. And that's actually been a very long time since you've seen me, because that was the last year in November where we were actually together and you know, we were actually...
Should be a fun event nonetheless. I'm quite excited to see what Swifty's got up his sleeves as well.
So-
But, you know, I want to talk a bit more about Buriza because I feel like there's a lot of learning that's going to need to happen between today and day after for Buriza alone. One, you've got to learn how to face an audience, man. When you guys go up on that main stage, when Buriza goes up on that main stage, it's a different ball game. Here they've had this comfy little private room where they've been chilling and playing in the AC.
They were just looking at each other, smiling.
Take off your shorts and play if you feel like it. You can't do that on the main stage. You've got to be a little dressed. You've got to maintain some decorum. But, you know, I think one thing that really keeps you guys going as players as well is that your fans usually stick by you in good times and in bad times. And I do hope some of Buriza's fans do show up here at the main event to support them. I'm sure they're going to need it. Likewise for A5.
You know, it's not just the support that actually, you know, comes to you when your fans actually come in. That's a lot of added pressure as well, because you're shouldering the responsibility and you're shouldering their dreams as well, pretty much, because they expect you to perform. And you know, sometimes it so happens that we've actually seen it happen so often, at least in the Counter-Strike community in India, that a team goes outside, they get dominated, and when they come back, you know, the community is actually all the way around. They're actually, you know, sort of flaming for the team, and they don't. In the end, when they actually need them, they don't really support the team. So, you know, that is something that adds up to the pressure as well. I don't know if that has personally happened to you ever.
I think it has, because normal mentality for our Indian community is like, if they qualify for an event, they have to perform there. They don't see the appreciation in the efforts we make to qualify for a major or any minor, any major tournament. So even qualifying for it is a good thing. It's the first thing. There's always a start.
Yeah.
So when you come back, like underperforming outside the country, of course there should be some motivation and support from the fans.
Well, that's pretty interesting. So, but I guess that's pretty much about it from the desk. We are absolutely done with the day. We've had a lot of games. This was the final game for Dota 2. For the playoffs, we have our finalists for Dota 2 and for CSGO as well. And the finals are actually happening at Hotel Andaz at Nehru City. And it's going to be pretty interesting, to be honest, because of the fact that, you know, in the last time, the venue was pretty amazing. The benchmark was set. And this time around, we're actually expecting a similar thing as well.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
you have really high expectations from the arena as well.
Absolutely. As repeat attendees of the Mountain Dew Arena, and you know, with version 2 being bigger and all for the players, I hope us spectators, fans and commentators get an amazing experience as well. Mountain Dew, we've got our eyes on you. Blow our minds, please.
All right, so that is going to be about it. We are going to, you know, sign off because it's about 12:30 at night. But do not forget to tune in. It's going to be on D Sport from 2 p.m. the day after tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow, technically. It's going to be the 1st of October, if I'm not mistaken. Sunday. It's going to be Sunday. And, we hope to see you soon on Sunday at 2 p.m. on D Sport. Make sure you guys tune in, because those games are going to be absolutely, absolutely insane. Best of 3 for Dota 2. Best of 3 for Counter-Strike. 4 amazing teams playing on the stage. And, well, amazing, amazing gaming action coming up as well. So, well, for tonight, it is bye-bye and see you.
Welcome to Dew Arena.
Looking for more, gets another one. Rattling on shot through the smoke. He's got some stopping here. He's going to get another one. With the quad kill. Completely blinded, yet he finds the kill. He's getting 45 here. Charges around. Another one. Mana going absolutely huge. Wave it on shot. Oh, minute. Absolutely nasty.